Right, welcome to the stream everyone. Today we are doing our first commentary for 2 weeks, mainly because it's been the international break. Today we're doing the only game, which is Derby v Cardiff. So hopefully we can get a few people on the stream today. Hopefully people that have been watching since the international break, well before the international break, can join back. So I'm not sure how much views we'll get today, probably not that much, because most people won't be joining because I'm streaming for 2 weeks because it's been an international break, but we'll see. But what we're going to do, we're going to look at the lineups, we're going to look at the league table and stuff, and then we'll hopefully be close till kick-off. We've got 22 minutes till kick-off, I think. So anyway, looking at the lineups, we'll start off with Derby because they are the home team. Just need to get the app for the formations up. Then we'll start. We'll go through other fixtures there as well. I think there's quite a few more starting. But we'll start off with Derby. They're playing a 4-2-3-1 with Roos in goal, Clark and Keogh centre back, Malone left back, Lowe right back, Bielik and Huddlestone at CDM with Waghorn on the right, Lawrence on the left, Holmes in the middle and Marriott up top. And then on the bench they have Patterson, Dow, Hosefazoon, Hamer, Martin, Davies and Knight. So pretty decent team for Derby. For Cardiff, they're playing 4-2-3-1 with Smithies in goal, Morrison and Flint centre back, Peltier right back, Bennett left back, Rouse and Bakuna in CDM with White on the right side, Murphy on the left side, Patterson in the middle and Glatzel up top. Then they have Volks, Vassell, Nelson, Mendes Lang, Day, Bogle and Hoyler on the bench. Not sure about my prediction, need to check the league table and stuff because I haven't actually looked at it since August. So I need to have a look at that. But welcome to the stream, Cody. So, league table. Then we'll look at all the other fixtures today. So, Swansea top of the league on 16 points, Charlton second, Leeds are third, West Brom fourth, Bristol City fifth, Fulham sixth, Preston seventh, QPR eighth, Birmingham ninth, Nottingham Forest 10th, Sheffield Wednesday 11th, Millwall 12th, Cardiff 13th, Brentford 14th, Luton 15th, Reading 16th, Blackburn 17th, Middlesbrough 18th, Derby 19th, Hull 20th, Barnsley 21st, Wigan 22nd, Huddersfield 23rd and Stoke 24th. So Cardiff on 8 points, Derby on 6. So if Cardiff win, they'll go on 11 points, which will put them in 6th. They'll need to win by like 5 goals to go ahead of Bristol City. If they draw, then they go on 9 points. Which will keep them in 13th. And if they lose, they will go down to 14th. Because Derby, if they win, they go on 9 points. They draw, they go on 7 points, and they'll go 18th. And then if they lose, they stay where they are. Cardiff can go in the top 6 today. If they win, we'll have to wait and see though. Not sure about my prediction yet. I'll decide 5 minutes before kickoff. But looking at the top scorers, we have in the lead Borja Baston on 5, Taylor's also on 5, Huggill's on 5, Mitro's on 5, and Johnson's on 4, Bamford's on 4, Grant's also on 4, and Watkins and Grabban are also on 4, and then moving on to 3 we have Cavallero, Gallagher, Fletcher, Bowen, Diangana, Afobe, Waghorn, Yukiewicz, Sombalonga and Collins, and then the others on 2, which we won't read out. Didn't see any Derby or Nottingham Forest players. I know Lawrence has got 2 goals. Wagon's there, never mind. I just didn't read it. I think Lawrence has got 2 goals, at least. Not too sure. Yeah, no Cardiff players on there. We'll look at all the other fixtures today. So we have Arbroath v Partick Thistle. That's 1-0 in the 19th minute. And there's is that Welsh League? I'm not sure. We have Irish League games, La Liga game, Bundesliga as well, starting in 2 minutes. Lille winning 2-0 against Angers. Lyon playing soon. Danish League, Belgium League as well. There's quite a few European games. But the only English game is Derby v Cardiff. We'll look at tomorrow's and Sunday's games as well. Not sure about Sunday. I could play. I should be playing a game, but I might be injured for that game, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to. If I am injured and I can't play, then I'll probably do streams, but we'll see. So Saturday tomorrow. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do Liverpool, Newcastle or Fulham, West Brom. Haven't decided yet. We'll have to wait and see. Most likely going to be the Liverpool game. Then we have got at 3 o'clock. Not sure which game I'm going to do. Probably Man U, Leicester. Wolves, Chelsea could be a good game to do, and so could Tottenham, Crystal Palace. I might do a vote or something tomorrow in the Liverpool or Fulham stream. And then 5:30 is there? No, there's no games. We'll do Norwich v Man City then. Then Sunday, if I am able to, I'll do either Huddersfield, Sheffield Wednesday or Barnsley v Leeds. If I do Barnsley v Leeds, then if I do Bournemouth Everton, then I'll have to start that like 15 minutes into the game, but I probably will do Barnsley Leeds, because I did say I would like the other week, so I'll have to do that, to be honest. And then Watford Arsenal, so we could have, what's that, 6 streams in the next 2 days after this one, if I can't play on Sunday. And also Monday, Aston Villa, West Ham. Tuesday we have UCL and stuff. There's League 2 games. I don't want to do UEFA games because they'll get copyright. Don't know why it's just UEFA games. I could do them, but I don't know if I want to. If not, there is League 1 games I'll try and do. Wednesday, there's only Champions League games. But I do have football training on Wednesday, so I might not be able to do a stream that day. Thursday, Europa League. Friday, Southampton, Bournemouth. And either Leeds Derby or Leicester Tottenham, and then Norwich Burnley, I guess. Sunday, yes, 4 games Sunday, 2 at the same time. That's annoying. No championship, so I'll do 3 West Brom Huddersfield, and then I'll decide the other 2. So these are all the streams for next week. We've still got 14 minutes till kick off. Not sure what to do. Comment your score predictions in the chat. We'll see if anyone can get it right. I'm going to make my score prediction now. I'm going to say 1-0. I'm not sure why, I'm just saying 1-0 for no reason. Both of them have had average starts to the season. Don't think Derby will win, and I don't really think Cardiff will win as well today. We'll have to wait and see though. Is there any other football news while we wait? I mean, we've got the player of the month. So, Pookie won the player of the month for the Premier League. And Klopp won the manager of the month. Harvey Barnes won the goal of the month. I'm surprised Pookie won. Because Aguero got 6 goals, 1 assist. Pookie only got 5. So if we look at Premier League, so look at top scorers. Aguero getting 5 goals, 1 assist. Pookie only got 5 goals, 1 assist. So maybe Aguero deserved it more. Pookie did have more shots on target, to be fair, but he had more shots. Maybe someone like De Bruyne could have won it, I'm not sure. But Pookie has won it. His cards doesn't look that great on FIFA. It just looks... It's like 84 pace, 84 shooting, 84 rated. Doesn't really look like a great card. I'm not going to be getting it for FIFA 20. I got Lucas Moura's last year and it cost like 50k. But I'm not going to get that Pookie card. It doesn't look that great. But 11 minutes till kick off now. Don't know why I'm on the Premier League table when we're doing a championship game. I don't even know when the next international break is. Hopefully it's like not for another couple months. We have quite a lot of mid-week games now. The Champions League's on. So on the week next week we've got Champions League games. The week after that we've got EFL Cup. Then it's probably back to like UEFA Champions League and stuff then. I might do Champions League. I won't be able to do a stream on Wednesday, but I'll try on Tuesday. If not, I'll do League One. I don't know what YouTube have done with like the subs since I last streamed. Because if you go on my channel it says 1.65k. That makes no sense. Well, it does make sense, but it's really confusing. If I go on another channel it'll probably say the same thing. Let me just go on my recommended. Click on Sky Sports Football. It says 1.38 million. That makes no sense. It's just confusing. But we're 9 minutes away from kick-off now. Once it hits quarter 2, I'll put on the commentary. What is wrong with this? There's something wrong with my YouTube on my thing. It's been playing up today. Let me just click on my stream. There we go. Let's look at some other news. Bulgaria's football chief criticises Southgate over racism comments. Makes no sense. When's the FA Cup first round draw? Probably end of September. I'll do a stream for that. And then I'll do a stream for like Carabao Cup stuff as well. So I got like 200 people watching that Carabao Cup stream, which is pretty decent. Laporte out until January or February. It's annoying. Hopefully Otamendi can do alright there. He managed to in 2017-18, but that was 2 years ago now. So I don't know if he can still do it. If not, they might have to buy another defender in January, just in case. We'll look at all the other EFL Championship fixtures while we wait, I guess. So, got that today. Tomorrow, 12:30, Fulham v West Brom. 3 o'clock games, we have got Blackburn v Millwall, we've got Charlton v Birmingham, Hull v Wigan, Middlesbrough v Reading, Preston v Brentford, QPR v Luton, Stoke v Bristol City, and Swansea v Nottingham Forest. Not going to be doing any of them games because there's Prem games on. And the website I use to get commentary only does Premier League games for the 3 o'clock kickoffs. So I can't do Championship games for now. But then tomorrow we got tomorrow's Saturday. Sunday, we've got 2 Championship games. We have got Huddersfield v Sheffield Wednesday and Barnsley v Leeds. Not sure which one I'm going to do. I'm going to do a vote for that tomorrow in the Norwich v Man City stream. Most likely going to do the Barnsley v Leeds because I did say a few weeks ago that I'm probably going to do that. And I didn't say about me doing Huddersfield v Sheffield Wednesday, so I'm going to do that, most likely. Next week, though, we got Leeds v Derby at 12:30, which I'll do commentary for. Unless there's a decent Prem game on, which I think there might be actually. I think it's like Tottenham playing. I'll decide next week, but then we got Birmingham, Preston, Brentford v Stoke, Bristol City v Swansea, Cardiff v Middlesbrough. Who have Derby playing? Or did I already read it? I don't see Derby anywhere on there. Or am I blind? Yeah, Leeds v Derby, I'm blind. Yeah, so if you're a Derby fan and you want to see more Derby streams next week, I'll do Leeds v Derby commentary. So if you want to see that, subscribe to the channel. We'll look at Cardiff fixtures and Derby fixtures and show which ones I could potentially do. So, not going to do any of them because they're 3 o'clocks. Not sure about Wednesday 2nd of October because I think there's like 6 other Championship games. Friday 18th of October I should be doing that. Cardiff v Sheffield Wednesday. Same thing here, Tuesday 22nd of October, probably 5 or 6 other Championship games, so I'm not sure if I'll do that. And then I'll do the Welsh derby. I'm not sure what it's called. Is it a Welsh derby? Probably not. I'm just making up 2 best Welsh sides in the EFL though. Swansea v Cardiff, I'll definitely do that. I think. I might not be able to though, because football on Sunday. That's going to be annoying, but at the moment I won't be doing football this Sunday because I'm injured. But my foot might get better because I'm not going to be doing anything tomorrow. 3 minutes till kickoff now. We'll look at derby fixtures. So that's like two or three Cardiff fixtures coming up in the next month. But next week, we've already mentioned, I'll do Leeds v Derby. Same here, 2nd of October. I'm not sure if I'll do that. It depends what commentaries are on, because they won't do commentaries for every EFL championship game. They'll like choose like 2 or 3 to do. So I'll see on the day what ones they have that they're doing, and then I'll pick one. Same with here, Derby v Wigan. Not sure. All the Derby games are 3 o'clock until November. That's ages away. That might be the next Derby stream I do. Have to wait till November to play Forest. So, I guess I'll have to try and do Barnsley v Derby or Wigan v Derby, because otherwise you have to wait till November to another Derby thing. But 2 minutes kick off now. Welcome to the stream, Harry. Good to see one of my mods is active. Hopefully the others can. Because if my mods don't come on for like one stream at least a week, I'm probably going to remove them. But if you do come on like a stream a week, that's fine. Probably won't remove them this week because I haven't done a stream. But next week I'll start that. I just need to sort this out. We've got 1 minute till kick off. I'm going to make a sub goal as well. That should be fine. If I click on this, it should show the scoreboard thing. But it's not. Let me refresh this. It's not showing this. We'll have to wait till 7:45 till... No, which is like 30 seconds. No, it's 5 seconds in fact. I'll just refresh it now. There it goes on. I'm just going to keep on refreshing this. Actually no, that'll get annoying. Right, let me refresh. Let me go out of this Zoom. Game hasn't started yet. Second the game starts, the commentary should be on. Alright, there we go. I've managed to do that. So once the game starts, I'll put the commentary on. Just need to make a sub goal. So our sub count, we are on 1,655. I'm going to make a sub goal of 1,666. Just so we have 3 6s in there. Because it's Friday 13th and we have 666. But anyway, kickoff started. I'm going to put on the commentary. So enjoy the first half and I'll be back at half time.
45 minutes there in their white shirts with the black trim on the shoulders, the black shorts and the white socks. And there's Cardiff who are going from left to right then as they try to get their season kick-started, just as we see shots of Philip Cocu on the Derby bench. Then the head coach won 3 Dutch League titles with PSV, but he has found life a little bit tougher since coming to England this summer, taking over from Frank Lampard, who made the move to Chelsea. But I was also saying there, Cardiff, who were in their change kit then, that are going from left to right. It's sort of an orangey kit with blue trim around the shorts, socks and shirt. As the ball is played up to this right-hand side, there's maybe an early chance for Gavin White to have a go here, and Gavin White tries to get past Malone, but he just overruns that one there. Malone does just enough to force him out, and that ball is behind for a goal kick. Team news for this game then, obviously this is the first match back after the international break for these championship sides. Derby have made 3 changes from that 3-0 defeat to Brentford. Lee Buchanan, Jason Knight and Kieran Dowell, they're all replaced in the starting 11 by Matt Clark, Dwane Holmes and Scott Malone. As for Cardiff, it's just 1 change as Callum Patterson comes in and replaces Lee Tomlin. The latter was involved in a car accident, so that is an enforced change from Neil Warnock. The team news in full then. Just as a bit of defending to do for Matthew Clark at the back. It's a Keller Roos in goal for the Rams. Scott Malone, Matthew Clark, Richie Keogh the captain, and Max Lowe at the back four, I should say. Christian Bielik and Tom Huddleston in the holding roles. Tom Lawrence, Dwane Holmes and Martin Waghorn are playing behind the lone striker Jack Marriott. As for Cardiff, it is Alex Smithies in goal. Then it's Joe Bennett, Aidan Flint, Sean Morrison the captain, and Lee Peltier is a back four. Joe Rules and Leandro Bacuna in the holding midfield roles, with Josh Murphy, Callum Patterson and Gavin White playing behind Robert Glatzel up front, who is leading the line then for Cardiff City. Glatzel, the German striker who arrived this summer from FC Heidenheim, yet to get off the mark for Cardiff City, so be hoping to break his duck this evening. But I mentioned both sides were struggling to make any sort of impact early on in the campaign. Derby are 19th coming into this game, so just 3 places above the relegation zone. They've got 6 points from as many games. It was an impressive start for the Rams. They had a victory and a draw in their opening 2 games. They beat Huddersfield away before drawing with Swansea, but they have no win in the last 5 in all competitions. They've been knocked out of the EFL Cup. As for Cardiff City, they're 13th going into this game, 2 points above Derby County. So again, it's been a bit of an average start for them, although not far away from the playoff positions being so early on into the season. They've had no win in the last 3. They've also been knocked out of the EFL Cup as well. They were beaten 3-0 at home by Luton Town. So Warnock will be looking for a response as well. His side had a 1-1 draw at home to Fulham before the international break, as there's a long ball up towards the edge of Derby's penalty area. Keogh comes across and heads it out, rather splices the head away to the left-hand side, and it will be a throw to Cardiff. Christian Bielik, he won his first cap for Poland in their last 2 internationals during the recent break, so that's a good milestone for him in his career, and he's an impressive player who was highly rated. As Cardiff throw this one back towards the halfway line, Morrison, the skipper, then swings it out towards Joe Bennett. He goes down the line then for Josh Murphy, tries to twist and turn. He's challenged though fairly, says the referee there from Max Lowe. And now it is with Richard Keogh towards Huddleston, who has his ankles chopped down there. That will be a free kick. Tom Huddleston, one of the more experienced players in this Derby side, certainly known well for his passing and his long-range striking ability. His maybe fitness levels can be called into question, obviously getting on in his career as well, but certainly is a bit of a presence in that centre of the park for Derby. It is the Rams that have possession now with Keogh. Low ball over the halfway line to find Waghorn. He is forced to run back towards the halfway line where he finds Huddleston. Now it is with Clark. And he's allowed to just bring this one up towards halfway, and he finds a lot of room now for Lawrence, who can spin, and he's allowed to drive forward now. Lawrence out to the right hand side, he finds the ball where he finds Max Lowe, looks to put in a low cross, it takes a deflection, it goes behind. Will be a corner kick then for Derby County. Far too much room there for Tom Lawrence. I've got him starting out on the left hand side here for Derby behind Jack Marriott, but I think Lawrence will be allowed to have that freedom just to drift around there, go and sort of float in different sort of areas of the pitch and try and pick up possession just like he did there. And he laid on that opportunity for Lowe to get the cross in, but it will be a corner kick for Derby. Lining up as if they're going to take a short one, but I think they will just whip this one in there. They've gone actually low though to the right hand side. Then Lawrence swings one towards the far post. It's headed away rather easily though. As Cardiff clear this ball, it's only as far as Huddleston. He then volleys one out to the right hand side where it is brought down then by Max Lowe. Now it's Dwane Holmes, looks to play the ball in field there, and he gets a little 1-2 there into the penalty area. He goes Holmes towards the byline, tries to cut this one back there. The shot comes in, takes a deflection, it's blocked. Waghorn now with an opportunity, still Holmes with possession now. Huddleston inside the penalty area, left footed shot is saved by the keeper. Then there's a into the back there, eventually somehow that is scrambled in there, and it's from Scott Malone, the left back. Well, it was a catastrophe at the back there for Cardiff City. Several chances to get that ball clear, just wouldn't quite drop for them. Eventually it's Scott Malone who scrambles that one into the back of the net, and suddenly Derby have themselves an early lead. Opening goal then at Pride Park, and it's Derby 1, Cardiff 0, and what have been a pretty even start between these two sides. It's the Rams who are attacking down that right-hand side of the field. It's Duane Holmes there. He's involved in all of this. Little 1-2 into the penalty area. Gets to the byline, pulls it back. Jack Marriott has a shot. It's blocked inside the 6-yard area by Sean Morrison. Holmes picks it back up inside the area. Huddleston then has a snapshot. His effort is saved low down to his left-hand side by Alex Smithies. It then somehow drops back towards Scott Malone, who's inside the penalty area, and he tucks it home for around 6 yards out. It's a rather scrambled goal, but Derby will not care. It's Derby 1, Cardiff 0. Yeah, just seeing the replays there from Scott Malone to put it in. He was actually around 3 yards out when the ball eventually dropped to him. You've got to feel a little bit for Alex Smithies, actually, who made a really smart save. It came through 2 bodies, did Huddleston's initial shot. He did do well to get low down to his left-hand side, but he couldn't stop eventually another shot coming in, and there's a scramble of Cardiff players around him, and it ends up in the back of his net. By the way, for Derby fans anyway, and for Cardiff fans that are listening to this, that every time Scott Malone has scored, well, he's beaten in his last 23 games that he has scored is Scott Malone. So it's good news for Derby, maybe not good news for Cardiff, but it is Derby 1, Cardiff 0, 7 minutes into this game. Scott Malone on the score sheet, and as Derby try and play the ball out from the back, eventually that one is just smashed upfield, and they'll look to come again. He's gone out for a throw. Neil Warnock just looking on. Well, there were rumours that he was going to step down as manager after Cardiff were relegated, dropped down to the Championship, but decided to stay on. They invested a little bit into the squad as well this summer, but it's not been the start that he wanted to the campaign, and not the start to this game either. There's a long ball upfield for Cardiff. It drops to Huddleston, though, who does well to hold off a challenge. Now it's the goal scorer Malone. He chests it down, but then slices the ball out with his left boot. It will be a throw-in on this right-hand side. Just looking at the record when scoring first, Derby in all competitions since September 2017. Played 50, won 35 and drawn 15. So good front runners, I think that suggests, from the Rams, as there's a throw down this right-hand side by Peltier. He gets it back as it's nodded towards him by the opposition defender Malone. Then it looks like there's a free kick on White. No, says the referee. Fair challenge, and now Derby have a chance to counter themselves as it's brought up towards the halfway line. It is with Christian Bielik. He finds Holmes now, who's charging forward there into the penalty area. Murphy, brilliant tracking back there from Josh Murphy. Otherwise, Duane Holmes is going to have himself an opportunity to have a shot at goal there, but brilliant play from the winger. They don't always track back to wingers there, but Murphy went with his man and just did enough to get a little bit of a shoulder barge in there. A good 50-50 challenge. The ball is with the throw, though, for Derby. It's been a breakneck pace as this game there. Struggling for a break as Derby have the ball down the right-hand side now, but the referee has spotted an infringement, saying that Duane Holmes may have just been a little bit too robust in a challenge against Leandro Bacuna. 9 minutes on the clock, then Derby 1, Cardiff City 0. A very entertaining start to this game. Don't forget as well, we have plenty of action coming up on this service over the weekend as well. It starts tomorrow from 12:30 in the Championship. Fulham take on West Brom. At the same time, we have coverage of Liverpool against Newcastle in the Premier League. At 3 p.m, Brighton against Burnley, Man United, Leicester, Sheffield United, Southampton, Tottenham against Crystal Palace. They are all at 3 p.m. kickoffs with coverage of those. Then at 5:30, Norwich against Manchester City, and that wraps up the coverage then on this service tomorrow. So some cracking games to look forward to. Sunday as well, plenty that we have going on, and also the Monday game, Aston Villa against West Ham United. But in this one, nearly 10 minutes on the clock, Derby 1, Cardiff City 0, and it looks like Cardiff, well, they've got a throw and they're going to go for a long one into the penalty area. Callum Patterson is the man who's come over to take this one, and they sent a few into the box here, so certainly it's going to be a long throw that will all seem to stem from Stoke City when Rory Delap was at the Potters. As Patterson does throw this in towards the near post, attempts to be flicked on, it drops down inside the penalty area, and again that one's sort of sliced out. This time it's Lawrence who doesn't get a great clearance on that one. It's going to be another throw for Cardiff. It's going to be another long throw, pretty much in the same position that Patterson has just taken one. Well, there's one man on the goal line, one just ahead of the goalkeeper. This is a flatter delivery in from Patterson. Again, it's a Derby head to it first, but back to Patterson. He then nods it back into the penalty area. The keeper, Kelarus, comes for it. He actually clashes into his own defender there. No communication, but Derby have managed to clear this one up towards the halfway line. Holmes is battling away with Bacuna. Eventually, the ball is played back towards the goalkeeper and Alex Smithies by Joe Rawls, and Cardiff can start themselves again. 11 minutes on the clock. Derby 1, Cardiff 0. Long ball upfield now by Alex Smithies. It's allowed to bounce, then Malone just hooks this one clear down the line with his left foot up towards the halfway. There's a little shoulder barge there, a little coming together between Peltier and Jack Marriott, but it will be a throw in to the Bluebirds. As Peltier throws this one all the way back towards his goalkeeper Smithies, and they can start again. Just happy to keep a hold of possession. Cardiff haven't seen much of the ball, so they just need to get a feel for it. Long ball upfield now by Smithies again. There's one in the air by Christian Bielik. Something that I have noticed in these opening 11 and a bit minutes is that Derby do seem to have a bit of a height advantage, actually. I mean, some big players on the pitch for Cardiff, and Sean Morrison, Aidan Flint, but you look at the Derby players, and they've got Huddleston in the midfield, who is a bit of a man mountain in there for him. We've also got the likes of Clark, Keogh at the back, so there's some good height in the team for Derby. As down this left-hand side comes Murphy, though, for Cardiff. He cuts in field there, edge of the area, chance for a shot, right for the shot does come in eventually, and it's slid and blocked away by Keogh. Derby clear the lines up to halfway, but it's straight towards a Cardiff shirt, and now the Welsh outfielder look to come forward again. It is with Morrison, the skipper. He's chased down by Marriott there. He's caught a little bit late there as well, and the referee is going to bring this one back because Gavin White was just under a little bit of pressure on the halfway line. Sean Morrison is just pointing towards the referee. Hey, come on, what was that? It's just a little bit of a nibble from Jack Marriott. Not too much in that one, but it does take the right leg away from Sean Morrison. Marriott, a little shake of the head. He probably just got a word from the referee, which has officiated this game well so far in these early exchanges. Smithies is going to take this free kick, though, for Cardiff City, so expect a long one to go into the penalty area. It's towards the left-hand corner of the box. Huddleston, though, again gets his head to it first. Good play by him. Referee this evening, by the way, is Darren England, as Cardiff have a throw and they launch it back towards the halfway line as Flint finds Morrison. Get under a bit of pressure. He then just tries to punt a diagonal one forward. Way too much on that one, though, looking for Murphy. Murphy puts his hands up, saying, appreciating, I think, the attempt from Sean Morrison, but the execution wasn't good. We've just seen replays now with the Derby goal. It's a couple of block shots came in. There was half appeals for a handball in there from Martin Waghorn. It would have been harsh. It might have just grazed his arm. Shot came in from Huddleston, was blocked by the keeper, well saved. Then Waghorn gets an attempted right-footed cross in, takes a couple deflections, and then it finds its way somehow towards Scott Malone. But yeah, I think if they gave a free kick for a handball there on Waghorn, it would have been a little bit harsh. But to be quite honest, Cardiff probably should have cleared their lines a little bit sooner, and they were paid for not doing so. As Derby just can't quite hang on to a long ball forward, as Lawrence was trying to get on the end of it. Will be a goal, a kick towards the away side. I mentioned before that both of these sides in their pretty poor form at the moment. And for Derby County, they'd like a win because they have to travel to Leeds United next Saturday. And then have Birmingham at home, away to Barnsley, then at home to Luton. As for Cardiff City, after this one, they're at home to Middlesbrough, away to Hull, home to QPR, and then away to West Brom. So life doesn't get easy in the Championship. It is arguably one of the hardest divisions to get yourself out of, and it's very easy as well to get yourself relegated. Is down the left-hand side come Cardiff. Murphy, low ball in towards the near post there. An attempted shot is sort of scuffed. It finds its way now towards the feet of a Cardiff player. Edge of the box, left-footed strike, takes a deflection, rolls with the effort, falls to Murphy. He's going to try put a lovely ball into the box there. It finds its way towards Glatzel. Has a shot on the turn from an acute angle, and that one is over the bar. As just seen replays of that one there. Yeah, Glatzel, I don't think he knew what was around him. Rather a bit of a snapshot on the turn. But Cardiff there just showing their first signs of life in this game. Lovely play by Murphy. That ball towards the near post. Again, the clearance isn't great. The attempted shot was dreadful, I have to say. That came in, looked like it was from Joe Rules. And it's back now with the Derby goalkeeper Keller Roos as they look to calm things down a little bit now. The Rams, having taken that 6-minute lead through Scott Malone. Long ball upfield, and the header is won by Lee Peltier. I think the referee may have just called a free kick here. Actually, I think Robert Glatzel mentioned the man who is yet to score for Cardiff City, arriving in the summer, did the big Belgium. So the big German, I should say, from FC Heidenheim. 17 and 55 he scored through a 2-year spell, so not the most prolific of goal scorers. He was a bit more prolific early on in his career against FC Kaiserslautern. 27 in 47 for them. But he is 25 though, so still a lot of years in the tank, as Derby are coming forward now. As it's with Bielik, little ball into the penalty area. Waghorn finds his way to Marriott now, right for the strike there. Takes a little flick on the way into the grateful arms of Alex Smithies. The Derby players are screaming at the referee Darren England, saying, how is that not a penalty? Well, I mean, he played advantage. They did get the shot away. I suppose the referee's probably right in what he did. I'm not sure if there's enough contact anyway for a penalty to be given against Waghorn, but it is still Derby 1, Cardiff 0. So Tom Hill, that is, with myself, James Mason, for this game. That was, again, Derby just seemed to be getting a little bit too much room when someone like a Lawrence or a Waghorn drops deep in between the lines. Cardiff, no one's really picking him up.
No, and they'll be very, very fortunate if they keep getting away with that. You've got to be, aware. Looking at a dive attempt there from Waghorn. James waving his arms around. Oh, do you know what? I don't know.
That's not enough to take a player down to the floor. No way. He's
huge as well.
He's tapped him on the ankle. He's tapped him on the top of the foot. He's tapped him on the top of the foot. Waghorn has gone down. So he's limping around now, trying to add a little bit to the story here. Of what happened, but
big boy as well.
Yeah, not for me at all. And I think that's probably the right decision by the referee. I think he was quite happy that the ball fell to Marriott, because Derby, he could play the advantage then, and he could have the shot. There's a long throw into the box for Cardiff there, flick towards the far post, maybe a chance. Oh, there's a penalty shout now as Glatzel goes down in the area, and the referee has pointed to the spot. Well, that one looked a little bit more clear cut. Derby will feel harshly done by. Richard Keogh looks like he's the guilty party. The yellow card has come out as well to the Derby skipper. Glatzel just seemed to get the wrong side of him. Looked like a penalty.
Yeah, we see it here.
Right, he's got a shirt, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got his shirt. I mean, he's looking to go down, is Glatzel, I think. He's not... he is leaning forward. I don't think he's ever going to get a shot away, but for Keogh's point of view, if he can't get a shot away, you don't have to touch him. Once you put your hand on him, you're the referee side as well, aren't you, James? The referee can see that it's sloppy. Now they need Roos to save the day.
They do indeed there. Keller-Roos is...
speaking to the taker as well, trying to get in his head.
He's a big lad, is Keller-Roos. The referee's just explained to him basically the rules. As long as part of one of your feet are on the line, that is absolutely fine now for a penalty. So, your right foot could be ahead of the line, but your left foot, something has got to be on that line, as Glatzel will step up now with this penalty, and it's into the right hand side of the goal. The keeper went the right way, but Robert Glatzel opens his account for Cardiff.
Yeah, good penalty, good effort, as you say, just nice and timely, mentioning his scoring record, James. And Keogh's frustrated, he grimaces. I think he knows deep down that that's a poor call, but Roos trying to go the same way. Glatzel goes with power. Big man, isn't it, as you've already alluded to, and he puts loads of power and he gets it in the corner. His celebration is one of relief. 14 shots he's had before that, make it 15, and now his first goal.
We're back on level terms then at Pride Park. Derby 1, Cardiff 1. The away side back then on level terms, and it's come from the penalty spot. Now, a little bit controversial, because Derby thought they should have had a penalty a few moments before that, when it was Martin Waghorn went down in the box, and not enough contact really for a penalty. Then suddenly Cardiff go at the other end. There's a ball, there's a long throw into the box. Actually, we've seen a few times from Callum Patterson. It's flicked on towards the far post. Robert Glatzel gets the wrong side of Richard Keogh. The Derby skipper has got a chunk of his shirt there, pulls him to the floor. Penalty given. Up steps Glatzel as he dusts himself down. A powerful penalty into the far right side of the goal. Keeper went the right way, but could not keep it out. It's Derby 1, Cardiff 1.
Yeah, game on. Great start, James. 20 minutes in, 2 goals. These two powerhouses of the division. Keogh's just trying to explain to Glatzel, I didn't touch you. Glatzel just keeps mimicking. He's pulling his shirt, saying you did. And I don't understand what Keogh's trying to do. Fair enough, he didn't think it, but why mourning to the striker? Does he really care what you think? No.
It's not going to change the outcome.
It's not going to change. Just get on with it. Get it out of your head. You're already booked. Don't try and wind yourself up even more. As we see Cardiff coming for a corner. Murphy is left in disgust. With an interview, by the way, with Lowe just yesterday. Playing out of position, isn't he? They've got 2 injuries to right backs. which means having to play there. It is Wisdom, and I forget Bogle. Fair play for him to put him, as a left back. It must be awkward. Wouldn't surprise me if they're going to try and target him tonight, Cardiff. Neil Warnock is a man that likes to have a tactical plan behind him, isn't he? But
yeah, I mean,
spot weaknesses in there.
They've got a pacey player up against them as well, and Josh Murphy, who's already got past him on a couple of occasions. But yeah, it's not easy playing that position, especially a full-back position. It's not an easy spot just to go in there and be able to do for a player who doesn't usually be deployed in that position. So he needs support. He needs a bit of help from his players around him. I thought they may have put Duane Holmes as right back. I thought they might have done that because Holmes in this game, he's been an attacking threat, but he's got so much pace. At least if he gets a bit out of position, he's got that pace to get back and try and cover himself.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen play Holmes out wide, and he had a cracking season. The one just gone, he's had a few injuries, and that's why he's been slow to get started this year. But he's a good player. Can be a bit more dynamic than through the middle. He can play elsewhere, but see how they go. Just want a little flick on header, has to get back into midfield, but he's wrestling away with. There's some great battles out there as Holmes comes away with the ball. Yeah,
Bakuna there still going at Holmes, but it's the Derby man that has possession. He's still coming forward there, holds on to it. Brilliant play by Holmes there. He's a stocky character. He thought Bakuna had the strength to get one over him there.
I thought he'd push him off the ball immediately, but he didn't. I mean, really well done from Holmes. That's poor at the back from Derby.
Yeah, it's a mistake then, and the keeper Calarus has to come out, and he does get a decent clearance on this one. It's out for a throw. Yeah, Matthew Clark. Well, I was just thinking, in my head, when you were speaking that, when the ball came across, I'm thinking, how long does he want? That ball's not coming towards him.
His feet were planted in the floor, and he was just expecting it to go the other way. Yeah, very poor from him. I mean, it's a massive step, this, because obviously he came up from League One, didn't he, with Pompey, signed for Brighton, then Brighton loaned him straight to Derby. They obviously think he might be one for the future. Maybe need a bit more tough. It's the pace of the game that I think he might struggle with, but good luck to him. Brighton obviously then filled the hole with getting Dan Burn back, then signing Adam Webster. So if he's not going to be, say they're really impressed, this is a massive chance for the big club in Derby to impress. As Derby concede a throw-in, but until the early stages, it's certainly been an interesting game.
Yeah, I've been quite impressed actually with Dan Burn when I've seen him for Brighton this season. I've
not seen much of Brighton yet. I'd like to try and get a bit of highlights watched, because they play a new formation, don't they?
New formation. It's a bit more free flowing from Graham Potter, former Oostersons and Swansea City boss. So yeah, he's definitely, I think, got the Brighton fans maybe just a bit more excited. No disrespect to Chris Hughton, but he did a great job with Brighton with the sort of resources he was given. But they felt that the time was right to change it up. But we have gone past the midway point of this first half. 23.5 minutes played. Derby 1, Cardiff 1, and Tom will take you through to half time.
Yeah, cheers, James. So the long ball loops over the top. It's going to bounce over the head of everybody, including White, allowing Cardiff to have a throwing opportunity, and it is going to be with Malone. The ball is now hooked back up the line after Cardiff had won the original header from that throw-in. Two Derby players have run into each other there. Cardiff players come off worse, because as Malone's been thrown to the floor by his own teammate, he's caught the studs down the side of the legs of the Cardiff man, I think. And that's going to hurt. He wasn't expecting it, wasn't White. I don't think he was looking. Well, the man that's on loan from, what is it, Arsenal? Is it Bielik?
Christian Bielik, yeah.
He's clattered Malone. So see what happens here, James. I think he clatters Malone. Oh, in fact, actually, what happens is Bielik clatters White, Bielik then runs into Malone, so all three of them catch each other at the same time. Two of them fall on top of each other. No wonder White's got some ice and having the ankle rolled on. That's going to be sore, is that?
That will be sore, and Bielik actually is permanently at Derby County now. I think Charlton tried to get him, because he had a loan spell at Charlton last season. Charlton tried to get him, but he went to Derby permanently. Just having a little look at Gavin White then, the Northern Irishman. He's been capped a few times for his country, but it's a big step up for him as well. He came from Oxford United in the summer.
Yeah, it's the thing on the Championship now. They're taking some clubs that they can't. I'm not saying Cardiff can't afford it. Cardiff have got a lot of parachute money, but a lot of clubs that are perhaps not as cash strapped as others are maybe looking to the Premier League. Those that are a bit cash-strapped, looking down the leagues, seeing some of these players that have got a bright future.
Everyone's afraid of what's happened with nearly Bolton going out or liquidation. Bury have gone, haven't they? I think clubs are a little bit frightened of it now with the money situation.
Definitely, James. Definitely. These two have been. Derby have always flirted with that promotion, haven't they? They're a big club, Derby, but just because you're a big team down there doesn't mean you're going to get automatically up. Look at the other teams that have been left in the second and third tiers. Derby come down the right, headed away by Morrison. Cardiff have managed to get up when they got Neil Warnock in. I think some were sceptical, didn't think too much of it, but he got that record 8th promotion he was craving. 26 minutes in, these two are cancelling each other out, and it's been an interesting game so far. There's a potential about the game as well. Marriott's a cracking player at this level. I wonder if he'll ever be able to step up to the Premier League. This moment, Keogh going the other way with his career, of course, ageing as Clark steps. That's better from him now, James, as he comes forward, doesn't wait for the ball. Now plays it inside, a chance for Lawrence. Lawrence goes out to the left for Malone, going to whip in across, takes a deflection, out comes the keeper, and the man at Marriott chuching him to the floor. It was Smithies, of course, that had to be brave. I like Malone's idea though, James. Too many times you see wing backs or wingers take a touch and think, actually, I'm going to take my time here. He had no time. Cardiff got up to him quick, he had to whip it in. It's good defending, they got the block to it, took all the potential away from the attack. Yeah,
I mean, Lee Peltier is experienced, isn't he? So he knew he just needed to put the press on, and yes, good play from Malone. He's a good fullback, isn't he, Malone? He's experienced, he's played in the Premier League. Want to see if, he'll want to bring Derby into the next level. It's a strange one with Derby before, isn't it? I mean, they have flirted with the playoffs for the past 3 seasons. Obviously, they lost in the final last year under Lampard against Aston Villa. Just haven't been able to take that next step in how different it could be. I mean, it's a lot of years now since they were last in the Premier League. It was when Kelly Miller was playing for them, wasn't it? Because
they had the awful spell, didn't they?
They took 4 points from Newcastle, I seem to remember.
It's okay, James, look where you are now. Flourishing as here we see Clark in possession nearly half an hour ago. Out towards the right hand side now for Keogh, just going to trudge the ball forward, plays it into the feet of Lawrence. Clark now with a chance to go to Holmes, and he does, but Holmes pings it back over halfway to his centre back. Keogh now drifts over halfway, it's into Huddleston. Huddleston to Holmes. Holmes takes a touch. Now can he drive it forward? He's certainly going to try to. Good work from Malone. I've been a fan of Scott Malone's. It's into Lawrence. Good feet from him. Now can he just find a way past Rawls? Looped it to the far post, just over the head of Marriott. Hooked away down the line. It's chested down into midfield. It's prodded into the path of Huddleston. Strong tackle in midfield. That's what you want to see. Old school advantage, I think, played for Derby. Huddleston caught late as here comes Malone again and whips in the cross towards the far post. Smithies comes out, experienced campaigner in the Football League. He's now going to smash it downfield as Alex Smithies is looking for a teammate only as far as Lowe. Latson then he caught him. Lowe's going to charge over halfway into Waghorn. Derby needs to use the momentum they've got here. Cardiff are a bit flat-footed. Good work from Rawls though to nip in, and now Cardiff can break forward through midfield. Rawls goes out to the right-hand side for White. He's got Glatzel asking for it in behind. Bielik is turned. Looks pretty slow as Bielik. Huddleston smashes into Rawls again. I think Huddleston was aggrieved at the challenge he received. I wonder if he thought it was a bit malicious from Rawls earlier on, because that was a bit over the top that he's just done to roll at us there on the overlap, and there's bodies flying in everywhere. It's a great game.
Yeah, it's
for the challenges we're seeing anyway.
It's full throttle, isn't it? No one is pulling out of these challenges. To be honest, the Huddleston one, he went in with force as well. It's just he got there first. Yeah, I don't think there was much wrong with that, to be honest. I was looking there with Derby when they whipped that ball in with Malone. I mentioned before they've got height in terms of Keogh, Clark, Huddleston. Bielik's quite tall, but then Marriott, Waghorn, they're not very tall, are they? Whipping the balls in like that, that's not really their game.
Well, that's the downside to Waghorn playing on the wing, isn't it? Just break off, here comes Glatzel with a chance. It's a great point you make, actually, because the 3 times they've crossed it, Marriott's looking over his head.
Well, that's it. They've got no one that is in there to attack it. A target man, a old-fashioned centre forward. They're all about playing it into space, Lawrence running at them, threading a through ball, something like that, where the sort of direct route one game doesn't really suit them.
Yeah, they're lacking a Glatzel.
You could say that.
Yes, the ball's played out to the left, looking for their big number 9 Cardiff. All works for a throw in though. Thumbs up from Rawls, he appreciates the pass. That's a push to the floor, surely. Murphy's asking for it. I mean, he didn't seem to expect it. That's a nudge off the ball from the man in midfield, which is Patterson on Holmes. Holmes wins the free kick. It was Murphy that was nudged off the ball on the far touchline, but Cardiff certainly coming into this game after a slow start. Bill Warnock, an expert at this level, let's be honest.
Yeah, an expert. I always wondered, because there was everything that happened last season with Cardiff, obviously the relegation. Warnock as well, a few months before, I think after they got relegated, he wasn't sure what he was going to do, was he? He was never definitive in an answer whether he was going to stay on or not. And then he decided to, and I know you'll never question Warnock with his hunger and stuff, but is it still there, that fire to keep going for another season, to get Cardiff up and then continue with them in the Premier League? It's a tricky one for me with Warnock, to be fair. Yeah,
the desire there to keep going through the winter months, and I mean that's what he actually weirdly seems to really enjoy when the going gets tough. But let's see how they do. Up until then, will the owners allow him to get all that way? That remains to be seen as well, as we see this free kick to come for Cardiff. Waghorn's back. It's helping out. Lumped into the air. Right underneath KO, no Cardiff player within 10-15 yards of him. Really bizarre set pieces. There's Bakuna out to the left for Bennett. He gives the ball away to Lowe, who's looking really effective at right back, really effective, cutting on his left foot. He charges down the far side. Here comes Holmes. Holmes' pass is too risky. Can't find Lawrence. Neither can it find Malone. And Cardiff then lose possession by looping it forward. Waghorn dives in on Bennett. Referee says no free kick. Malone's going to go for goal, and it's down the throat of the keeper. But Scott Malone's already got one. His confidence is sky high. No wonder he's gone for that effort from there.
But still, Derby won, Cardiff won then in this game, although not many sort of clear-cut chances or even half chances at the moment. Both sides are in a real battle at the moment. There are challenges flying in. The referee down in England is trying to let things go. I suppose if he gives too many free kicks for nitty-bitty fouls, then he's going to be blowing his whistle for the entirety of this game. So I think the officiating is pretty good, although there's a couple of challenges where the players have taken exception to. Derby haven't really done much. They're whipping the ball in, especially from the left-hand side, but there's no real target man in there for them to try and attack it. As for Cardiff, they seem to be trying to get the ball up to their big target man, Robert Glatzel, who is causing a few problems, but like I said, no more chances. 1-1.
Ball played forward. There is Marriott, good skills at first, nips in to beat Rawls to the ball. Huddleston 1-2 with Rawls. Now to keep the ball, he's trying to tell Clark he wants him to make a move, and he does. Clark left-footed centre-half, carries it towards the halfway line, drops the shoulder, then plays it to Malone. Offers another angle, then does Clark to help out. Out towards the far right, brought under control by Lowe, flicked back inside. Now some room for Keogh to drive forward. He's going to keep carrying this ball. He's down the right, there's Waghorn, Huddleston. Clark going to keep carrying the ball over halfway, gets it back, still no real purpose from him. A bit flat-footed there as he has to try and get back. Keogh offered the angle. Richard Keogh a lot more composed on the ball. He fizzes the ball in towards the feet of Lawrence, who's come central. Lawrence driving at the defence, out to the right for Waghorn, who creeps into the box, wants the 1-2. Lawrence will get there, has to turn away from goal though. He's now outside the box. Waghorn just to the edge, whips the cross in, it's blocked. Lowe nips in. Waghorn now tries to get past Bennett, flicks it inside. He thought Lowe had carried on his run, which he hadn't, and that's a free kick against Cardiff. Foul on Keogh. It's a real swan-like dive from Richard Keogh. Great effect. He's complaining at the referee for the contact, screaming in his face. On a card here, Richard Keogh has to watch himself.
Never good to shout at the official, but again, that's, Derby looked dangerous when Lawrence just drifts into the middle, into that number 10 role, picks up possession, and the two Cardiff holding midfielders, Rawls and Bakuna, are not tracking him whatsoever, so he's allowed to get the ball, turn and drive forward. So Lawrence is the danger man.
Waghorn gets it now, swings the ball into the near post, flick down, it's going to be just cleared away, out towards the far side. And it's going to go out for a throw in on the touchline. Waghorn will go across to take it. I'm sure Lowe's going to come across and help, which he does. And now Derby needs some white shirts to go across to the touchline. Need a bit more help here as it's flicked inside. Cushioned back. Out from Clark to Malone. Good first touch to find space. Second touch not the best as he plays it into traffic. And away they break with Keogh. Now getting the ball. So Cardiff cleared it downfield, restarted the game. A long looping ball. Marriott looked offside there, but he's come from a weird angle. Has he won a corner? He doesn't seem to think so. His body language at first to me suggested he'd not won one. Referee and linesman suggest he has. Corner to Derby.
That just looked as if Marriott just need that out.
I thought the linesman's guess, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought he looks like he's thighed it, hit it off his thigh. There's not many protests though, is there, from the Cardiff players?
Well, there certainly isn't. Bennett's marking Biliak. That's a bit of a mismatch. Waghorn's corner towards the near post, headed away at the near post by Morrison. Holmes is going to go chase it, watches it out for a throw-in. Pace Dwayne Holmes again, just to make sure his team get the decision. Waghorn to take it quickly. He's doing everything at the minute. Waghorn, corners, throw-ins, winning free kicks, taking free kicks. Here's Huddleston in midfield, out towards Holmes. Holmes out to the right for Lowe. Lowe's going to drive it towards the edge of the box. Then he cuts back to Holmes again. 37 minutes gone. Waghorn, he's got Lawrence inside him. One apiece still. Flick on the line from Holmes, looking for Lawrence, doesn't come off. Keogh gives Glatzel a nudge. Clark will restart. Well, I thought Cardiff were getting into it, and then the last 5 minutes it's been all Derby.
Yeah, so
mistake again at the back from Clark. Keogh rescues him.
It's all Derby at the moment there, but the thing is, they're not really doing much with it, are they? It's to a certain point, in the final pass just isn't there.
Another mistake. Bielik, he's thrown down Glatzel. That's a yellow card, surely. Oh, he knows what he's doing there. Clark and Bielik look, I say, 3 yards off the pace.
Wasn't great. I mean, Clark's made 2 errors now at the back. Bielik, that was just poor. If he gets away without a yellow there, that's pretty lucky.
He has. I think that's poor refereeing, I really do.
The position he was in, Glatzel getting that ball from Bielik.
He's running up the defence.
Yeah,
So
he's
fair enough, they've got 2 back.
20-25 yards out.
He knows what he's doing. I'm very, very surprised the card hasn't come out. I don't know why. I don't know. I always thought Bielik was a centre half. He was playing centre mid tonight. He looks so lethargic in there. Looks awkward.
A bit gangly.
See the free kick coming towards the edge of the box. Glatzel heads it down. Too tame. I think it's Morrison, in fact, got in front of Glatzel. It is. And it is Sean Morrison that puts the thumbs up. He just was a cushioned header rather than anything else. As the chance comes in, it's palmed away. Out towards the edge of the box, shot comes in from Rawls. Morrison cushions it back to Rawls, who's going to try and spin and turn. Keeps possession. Floats the ball in, does Bennett. It takes a wicked deflection. Murphy saying hands. Oh, Lawrence's clearance is terrible. Up into the air, it's only as far as Patterson. There's Morrison. Here's White, low and hard. Oh, as a player goes down too early. Patterson went to dive at the ball, doesn't get there. Huddleston puts his foot through it and actually starts a counter-attack. Here comes Lawrence, great from Derby. That's just not a free kick, and he's going to get a card here. I think Tom Lawrence throws himself to the floor, and Lee Peltier smiles and just says, "Ref, come on. Let's have a bit of contact for once." Not all appeals ignored. That now means that Peltier's on a card, isn't it? And Keogh.
That's 50-50. That is 50-50 there. I think Peltier's done well. I think that's a poor decision from the referee. Lawrence is only waiting for a bit of contact, and he's thrown himself to the ground. We didn't really know what happened with that Cardiff shot, because off-tube independent studio coverage, so suddenly we're watching a replay of the first chance when the free kick came in with Morrison's header. Then it suddenly just panned towards a shot coming in and the keeper saving it. So all I can probably say is Derby are trying to play that one out short from the goal kick, and they got themselves into all sorts of problems, which we've seen a few times when they try to pass out from the back. They are susceptible to making mistakes.
Certainly are. Doesn't look to be too progressive for them. You see Bielik, that's a bit better from him, turns past his man, fires the pass looking for Waghorn. I spoke too soon, he just kicked the ball away. Keogh lets it hit him. James saying hand. I thought it hit him in the face. Good tackle, really good tackle from White, who bursts in, wins the ball back. Now he's driving his way towards the box. He cushions it back towards teammates. It's Glatzel into the area, still can't get out of his feet. Him and Keogh trotting on the ball in a bit of synchronisation. Warnock urging his players to get at Holmes as Holmes runs his way down the touchline. Still the ball hasn't gone out. That's better from White. Holmes muscles him off it. It's a bit carnage out here as here comes Lawrence out towards Marriott. Marriott's going to loop it up for Waghorn, who, well, keeps his feet still and allows it to hit him. I think it's going to go for a throw in the far touchline, is it? Or is he offside? I don't understand why Marriott's passing it like that, but if he does, Waghorn can move his feet. He does know that.
Yes, yeah, I mean, he is a lad. He's a stocky lad, isn't he, Waghorn? But it's a mistake-filled game at the moment, actually. From what was a decent start, both teams are just a little bit frantic when they have possession. There's some mistakes being made. I have to say, Richard Keogh looks like he can give away another penalty any time. All Glatzel's waiting for there when he goes in the box, because Keogh has 3 nibbles at him, trying to poke his toe in there, get the ball away, misses the ball with all of them. If he makes any contact with Glatzel, he's going to go down and get himself a penalty. But yeah, both sides do not look assured at the back.
No, they don't. Clark's looked wobbly as well. That's a bit better from him. No nonsense down the line, just clears and resets. Looping ball down the touchline. It's going to bounce and bobble its way. There's Patterson. He's gone down with a head knock. He's going to the back of his head, so we're going to get a delay here. He's conscious though, that's a good news. He's speaking, he's moving his arms around, he's flapping around. See what happens. Oh, he gets a knee to the back of the head from Bielik, and then Bielik lands on him with his knee again. And he knows he's done it, he apologises. There's nothing malicious in it. He knows he's caught him. He puts his arm up straight away to say, come on, I'm sorry ref, I didn't mean it. As this of course is the restart of all the action of domestic football. As the ball is out towards the middle of the goal, because we're waiting for a goal kick. Big weekend of the Championship, games Saturday, Sunday, of course, and tonight as we're here now. Little flick on header in the middle of the park there. That was from Waghorn. Nobody could reach it. Head tennis now as Keogh goes long. Headed up in the air again, and again, and again, and again. Back and forth. Finally, Joe Rolls chests it down. Thank you, Joe. What's that, 6 headers?
It was a lot. I lost count. I lost count, to be honest. There, I was just looking up into the sky. I wasn't bothering looking down at the feet. I was like, just look up in the air and see where the ball is.
Down the line, the ball comes. Clark's going to take a touch. Oh, it's a heavy one. And he really is having a shaky night. I don't think the James Parrish just put his head in his hands because of that Clark incident. But not the best first touch. Peltier is over the ball now. Ready to take this throw in. Looks away, Peltier, who decided against it. Now they're going to go for a long throw in, so Patterson's in charge. Patterson puts the ball under his jumper and gets ready.
I don't know why that wasn't the first option, because they scored from a long throw. Well, the penalty came from a long throw.
As we see Flint at the back. Flint's the target. He goes to the near post. Oh, off the post. Bielik's touch clips the outside of the upright. And Derby survive. Aidan Flint causing chaos, but it remains 1 apiece.
There you go again. Long throw into the box. Don't know how to defend it there, Derby. And yeah, just skims the outside of the post from a Bielik touch. Who, well, a little bit lucky. It could have gone anywhere.
Yeah, they could have done. And we wait for the ball to come into the box. It's going to be floated in towards the far post. It's headed back across goal. It's going to take a deflection or two. Whip down the line. Cardiff are going to try and get there. And they do get to the ball, but it's only for a throw-in of their own. 30 seconds to go.
Not seen much of the left back Bennett, have we? I was just thinking. I was looking at him taking the throw, thinking, who's that? I was like, I've not noticed him at all.
Who are you? Mr. Sub as Bakuna touches it down to Bennett. Turn. Oh, good work from Rolls. Rolls plays it into the middle. Here is Glatzel, even better footwork. Bielik, no foul though. That's going down early, according to the referee. The crowd and James Mason next to me. James Mason loves a dive.
Not personally, just calling people out for it. You
love accusing everybody of diving.
Well, it's a physical game.
That's the issue, because there's a lot of people doing it. It's not because you're petty. It's because there's a lot.
No, there's a lot of people doing it, trying to just going down so easily. And you think, it's a physical game. We had a chat about this the other day. A few of us in the office saying, football in the 90s, mid 90s, I think, or late 90s, was so much better, I think, than football these days. I still love watching football, but definitely mid 90s, late 90s, football was brilliant to watch.
Certainly was. As we see the ball floated in, flicked away. 3 minutes of stoppage time finally have been given. As the ball's out from Bennett towards Murphy. Low flies into Murphy, gets a touch of the ball according to the ref. Oh, nutmeg from Murphy. He's beating him all ends up. Now he's charging towards the box. He's inside the penalty area. Can he cut it back? He goes for goal. I think he took a deflection. It's out for a corner. Yeah,
they ended this half really well, Cardiff. Derby, they've had their passages of play in this game, but not created enough. They've only got the goal for Derby. That's how sort of poor they've been in the final third. And Cardiff, they've looked like it again. They haven't created much, but they just look a touch more threatening when they get into that penalty area. Murphy there was swarmed by 4 Derby players. If some of his teammates make some more clever runs, he's got a chance.
Ball in towards the edge of the box. Flint's going to head it back across goal. Still not clear. That's a big dive in the box. Surely the referee's given the free kick. Don't know if he just thinks Patterson's thrown himself into the Derby player. I thought he put his legs together as if he was ready to go, Patterson. Don't like seeing that, especially from big centre forwards like him. Oh, that's awful. That's a yellow card. Getting booked.
That was a poor attempt at a Chef Kikuchi swan dive, or whatever he used to do. That big celebration where he used to dive up in the air and land on his chest.
I was going to say, that is a really bad swan attempt. That's awful.
Could have been a lot of players booked for diving in this first half.
Could have some sending offs. Due to the petulance of some good header from Flint. I love it from the centre half in this league.
Solid. You want in this league a solid, just no-nonsense centre-back, just clear the ball away.
One that can play a bit of football.
Yeah, one that can play, but again, I just think in this level, you just don't make any silly mistakes. Just get the ball clear, get rid, and allow your more attacking players to do that side of the game.
Well, Morrison's quite underrated on the ball. I think they've intercepted it here, Cardiff. They've got one last chance as the ball's worked out to the right. There's White in behind for Glatzer. He's going to try and cut the ball back, takes a deflection off Huddleston, and the last action of this first half is going to be a corner as Glatzer limped his way out across the pitch. Just a little bit of a knock, and not ideal for his point of view that he picked up a little injury, but has to do the hard yards. Rolls is going to put the ball down. He's going to get ready to swing in this set piece towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's punched clear. Holmes will get underneath it. There is Bakuna. Bakuna picks up the pieces, and that's half time. It's 1 apiece at Pride Park. Join us soon for second half commentary.
Right, so it is half time. It is 1-1 between Derby and Cardiff. If you are going to leave the stream now because it's half time, make sure to come back in 15 minutes for the second half, because I'll continue doing commentary then. But what we're going to do now, we're going to look at the half-time stats. We're going to look at the league table as it stands, and then we'll look at other scores and fixtures. So we'll look at the match stats. So just need to get them up there. So Derby have 62% possession. Cardiff have 38%. Both teams having 6 shots. Derby having 4 shots on target. Cardiff having 2 shots on target. And Derby having 2 corners. Cardiff having 3. So pretty even game. The goals are by Glatzel and Malone. Derby scoring 6 minutes in, Glatzel scoring with a 19th minute penalty. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to read out the player ratings, and then we'll look at the other scores, I guess. So the player ratings will start with Derby because they're the home team. Ruse has a 6.4 rating. Keogh has a 6.2. Clark has a 6.8. Malone has a 7.4. Lowe has a 6.6. Huddlestone has a 6.9. Bielik has a 6.7. Lawrence has a 6.2. Holmes has a 6.4. Waghorn has a 6.5. And Marriott has a 6.5. So Malone, the best player for Derby at the moment. Alright, no substitutes so far. Let me check if there's any yellows or red cards. Yeah, there's a couple of yellow cards. Keogh with a yellow card. Peltier with a yellow card as well. But moving on to the Cardiff ratings. Smithies has a 6.6. Flint has a 6.7. Morrison has a 7.1. Peltier has a 6.4. Bennett has a 6.4. Bakuna has a 6.6. Rouse has a 6.5. Patterson has a 6.1. White has a 6.3. Murphy has a 6.3. And Glatzel has a 7.3. So Malone, the best player on the pitch. Glatzel, Morrison doing pretty well. Clark, Huddlestone, and Flint doing alright as well. So those are the player ratings. We're going to look at all the other halftime scores in other games. The only English game is Derby v Cardiff, but in Scotland it's 1-0 between Arbroath and Partick Thistle. And then the other games are Irish games haven't updated. Mallorca and Bilbao is 0-0 at the moment. Wolfsburg drawing 1-0 to Dusseldorf. Lille Angers 2-1. Lyon winning against Amiens 2-1. Genk losing 2-0. Pretty sure Genk are playing like Europe. I'm not sure if it's Champions League or Europa League. They're playing one of them though. And they're losing 2-0 to a side I've never heard of. But other games there, if anyone's interested, probably not because they're all like random leagues. But moving on to the league table, we'll look at that because we haven't looked at that yet. Both teams drawing, so both teams will get 1 point. Cardiff move up to 12th ahead of Millwall. I'm not no, that's on goal difference just about. And then Derby move up to 18th ahead of Middlesbrough. So that's the league table. I'll leave that on the screen for a minute. Half time was probably 5 minutes ago, I'm guessing. Yeah. So we've got about 10 minutes till the second half. What I'm going to do though is I'm just going to put it on that half-time screen I had on. And then once the second half begins, I'll put on commentary. We'll move down to the bottom half of the table and then... yeah, we'll just move it down to the bottom half. Alright, we'll put it back on the half-time screen there until the second half begins.
It is who are going from right to left in the second 45 minutes, and they're sort of like an orangey. It's a weird sort of orange, a burnt orange colour, I'll say, with a blue trim on it. As for Derby, they're in their white shirts with the black trim, the black socks, and the white socks with the little black trim around the top of those. But I'm not really a big fan of that Cardiff shirt, I have to say. But it is 1-1 in this second half then. Scott Malone opened the scoring for the Rams before a penalty from Robert Glatzel managed to level things up for the Bluebirds, and they probably, in terms of chances, the Bluebirds just edged that first half. They didn't have many clear-cut opportunities, but they did clip the outside of the post. It was Christian Bielik actually who hit the outside of his own post. They had a few problems when they put balls into the box. Derby, they really only had that one chance they created, and it did end up as a goal for them, but both sides maybe just need to be a little bit more clinical in that final third and a little bit more creative with some of their passes. It is as you were for the start of the second half, so neither manager has decided to switch things up just yet. So it's Calarus in goal for Derby. Scott Malone, Matthew Clark, Richard Keogh was yellow carded, and Max Lowe at the back. Christian Bielik and Tom Huddleston in front of them. Tom Lawrence, Dwayne Holmes, and Martin Waghorn behind Jack Marriott. As for the away side Cardiff, Alex Smithies in goal, Joe Bennett, Aidan Flint, Sean Morrison, and Lee Peltier, who's cautioned as a back four. Joe Rawls and Leandro Bacuna in the holding roles. Josh Murphy, Callum Patterson, and Gavin White playing behind Robert Glatzel, as Cardiff with their skipper Morrison just heads this one away down towards the halfway line. Huddleston then gets his foot to it. Now it's just a bit of a to me to you long balls forward. That one's headed out of play. Derby will get themselves a throw. Waghorn was going to take it, but Lowe just asks for the ball. As this one is thrown inside to Waghorn, edge of the area, finds the ball into the box. Now for Marriott, he's just held up a little bit by Morrison, then he lays it back out to Lowe, who puts a ball in towards the far post. That one's headed away, only as far as Huddleston though, looks to have a shot but just holds on to it. Now he finds Marriott, left-footed strike, and it crashes against the bar. What an effort that is from Jack Marriott. Well, it just looked like it was going to rise a little bit too much there, but it smashes against the bar. So unlucky for Jack Marriott.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's headed away by White. Huddleston just assesses his options. Marriott, he didn't even take any time to take a slight little touch to help its way. I think it does take some, unless it's the spin of the ball, but he's so unlucky. No wonder the fans are up on their feet celebrating. They think it's in, as does Philip Cocu. Cardiff have won a free kick out of the pitch in response. And it's... well, let's hope it's a similar sort of first half. Just a bit more goal-mouth action is the only thing we were lacking. Everything else, we had cards, we had tackles, we had penalty, we had a few contentious calls. It wasn't a boring game, was it?
No, it wasn't. Just seeing that Marriott only one goal in his last 19 championship appearances. I'm trying to figure, did he score in the playoffs, Jack Marriott?
Yeah, he scored against us.
Yeah, so
scored the winning.
That's,
you knew that.
I'm thinking unless they're not taking into account the playoff games, and they're just taking into account the championship games, just the normal regular season. But if they are taking into the playoff games as well, that's a poor old record from Jack Marriott, who, to be fair, he never really got many starting opportunities last season. He always brought on as a substitute, it felt, an impact player towards the second half. But he's very close to getting on the score sheet there, as Derby have possession as they run it out from the back with Keogh. Now it's with Lowe. He makes a bit of a mistake though as he tries to clear it, bounces off Murphy. Tries to keep this ball in play. Surely that went out of play, and it did. Murphy there is not going to get away with that one, and it will be a throw into Derby. But that's not the first time we've seen a Derby player make a mistake at the back. That time it was Lowe. Clark did it 2 or 3 times in the first half. Bielik did it in the first half. Richard Keogh gave away a penalty. It's not been a cracking night for the Derby defence, bar Scott Malone scoring the goal.
No, they've actually say they've not been. What's the word? Solid, consistent, good, shaky. Malone's been the better. I think Lowe's done all right. It's actually, if you take the 2 centre backs out of the defence, you normally panic and think that they're being in a lot of trouble. They've been the 2 worst performers back there.
You're being in trouble with a big gap through the middle without 2 centre backs.
There'd be a huge gap, and of course they still need to be in the game, playing their heads up. But Keogh's got to calm down. He got a bit hot under the collar. He moaned about a blatant penalty in the first half, and yeah, let's see how they go. I'd be putting pressure on the 2 of them, though, making them for making them take passes, forcing them to bring the ball out. That's what you want from Cardiff's point of view. Great, here they come, great ball.
Yeah, Waghorn there driving into the penalty area. A little toe poke effort there is saved by the keeper eventually. This one is cleared away there. Bakuna is swinging a foot at this one. Derby still have possession. That's not a great header though, and they'll be able to clear this ball away. It's Malone who again got himself forward there. Derby have it back on the halfway line with Huddleston. There's a man down for Cardiff. Unhappy, it looks like it's Joe Rawls with a challenge on him. He's smashing the ground in frustration, but Derby continuing to play on. Oh, it is Patterson actually, yeah, and he's limping around at the moment. He's back on his feet, but Derby still have possession on the left hand side of the field. Ball into the box there is a little bit overhit and bounces into the grateful arms then of the goalkeeper in Alex Smithies, but we'll see this chance again for Derby.
Well, Waghorn stays down. I think he's done it out of shit. He's a bit annoyed. If he gets caught, fair enough, but he's more out of disappointment. Might get a straight arm or a boot to the face as he lands, but he should be scoring. What a ball from Lowe to carve open the defence. It's great from Waghorn. He turns them, he runs, he's powerful. He's just got no finesse around the finish. It's just a toe poke and hope for the best, and that's not what you want from your main centre forward.
No, I mean it was lovely build-up play and a lovely ball there. Waghorn, his first touch was great, dribbling it in the box. He probably just doesn't get the shot away quick enough. He's under a bit of pressure, and that's when he just throws a left sort of toe at it. He gets decent contact, but you know the keeper makes a smart save. We'll see again. I'll tell you what, there's no contact on Patterson.
Oh, I think he falls awkwardly though on his leg. That's it. That's the problem. He falls really awkward. As he lands, he just gives way on him.
Yeah, that's never a great sign. Patterson is back on his feet now, so maybe just something went, a little bit of an impact injury there, but he'll go off the field of play and then have to be way back on by the referee down in England. But they don't want to lose Patterson, especially with his long throw capabilities. They have been an absolute force in this game so far, causing havoc in Derby's penalty area. Still Derby 1, Cardiff City 1 then at the start of the second half, but the Rams have started the second period off like a house on fire. There was a chance for Jack Marriott, all of his own making really. The ball fell to him just around the edge of the D, and he rattles a shot against the bar, though it beats the keeper but can't beat the woodwork. And then a few moments after that, there's a lovely through ball by Max Lowe, the right back, to find Martin Waghorn in the centre of the park, and a lovely touch by him. He drives into the penalty area, just maybe he's under a bit of pressure, loses his balance, but he throws a left toe at this one, gets decent contact on it, but it's a smart stay by Alex Smithies. If you're being a little bit critical, Waghorn should probably find the back of the net, but it's Derby 1, Cardiff 1.
It certainly is, as here they come through the middle with Keogh trying to drive away from the midfield. He's going to pick up the pieces. He goes across to Huddleston, who scoops the ball up out to the right. Ball's going to go straight to Murphy, who drills it into Lawrence. Murphy pleading with some of his teammates. Neil Warnock's coming out to the touchline. Beware. He's going to shout at somebody.
You expect him to, wouldn't you? He just
He's good at that.
Barker's orders out quite well. Just looking, he was on the bench actually for both of the two sides. Derby, Patterson, Dowell, Josef Zun, Hamer the keeper, Martin Davies and Knight. Cardiff, substitute options, they've got Volks, Vassell, Nelson, Mendes, Liang, Day, Bogle and Hoylett. Tell you what, I much prefer that Cardiff bench for attacking players to potentially come on and change things up. They've got height in there, they've got pace as well, they've got some tricky players, so that's certainly a good bench to look from. More, I think, than Derby have available to them, as it is the Bluebirds down this left-hand side, and Murphy does well to skip past a bit of a rogue challenge from Waghorn. Plays it back to Bakuna. He goes for a ball. Looked like he was gearing up for a long diagonal ball there, and it sort of floated towards the edge of the penalty area, easily cleared away, but Cardiff have the ball back on the halfway line. Now it is with the man I forgot was still playing in that first half, and Bennett. He's not done a great deal at the left back position, but I suppose he's not had many attacks against him down that side, as Derby do have possession now. That's a lovely little through ball there, looking for the feet of Bielik. He tries to return the favour for Holmes, but a sliding challenge comes in from Bakuna, but then Holmes gets his foot to it first again. He takes a knock for his troubles there, and it's just stopped him in his tracks, and Derby will just pass the ball around the halfway line at the moment. He's gingerly sort of putting pressure on his foot, as Lawrence now drops into the gap and picks up the ball once more. Now it is with that man Matthew Clark. He feeds the ball forward. Derby then play it all the way back inside their own half now, where Huddleston has it just over halfway. Drops it to his left hand side for Holmes, who was heavily involved in that first half for Derby. Lawrence back to Holmes. Just patiently trying to get him behind this Cardiff defence, and now Lawrence will try and sprint forward there. A little spurt of pace from him, but just pokes a right footed ball forward. It's intercepted and cleared away. But again, Derby have it back on the halfway line, and this is a good bit of sustained pressure. But we saw this from Derby in the first half. Lots of possession, but they didn't really create anything. But they've been better in the second period. Long range shot comes in, deflected, and bounces into the arms of Alex Smithies.
Yeah, I mean, Lawrence is 35 yards out there before he goes for that. I mean, he's going to have to hit an absolute peach, which he doesn't, deflects, and Smithies gathers. But yeah, Derby just going through the motions a little bit going forward, trying a few things that are not coming off. Cardiff are a bit more rigid, but you'd still say Derby have been the better of the two teams. You know, they might be trying stuff that's not coming off, but it's effective because they're making them turn their back towards goal. Cardiff, they're pushing them back, and it's at the moment working. Scoreline wise though, need to do a lot more in that final third.
Yeah, it's pretty much taken the pattern as the first half did. Derby started very strongly, got the goal, and Cardiff came back into it. This time Derby haven't got that early goal in the second half, still 1-1, but they are looking the better of the two sides. But obviously we said Cardiff did come back in to the game in the first half, as Clark does a decent bit of defending now, turns on the edge of his own box and plays a long ball forward there, looking for a teammate there. Can't find him. Marriott. It's Gavin White there. He's sort of drifted in and out of the game as well as White. He's probably a candidate if Neil Warnock wants to change it to bring someone else. I think Junior Hoylett's probably quite high up on place to come on. I think Nathaniel Mendez-Liang is another one that could potentially come on in place of Robert Glatzel, who's not done a great deal in the second half either. Is the away manager going to make the first change, or is it more up to the home team boss to force the issue?
See, I think Warnock will go first. He won't want his team to be having to ride this pressure if they're not going to have any response. It could be too late by that point. So I think Warnock goes first. It wouldn't surprise me if they're not straight after each other. Here we go though, chance for Derby.
Yeah, chip ball forward for Lawrence from a quick free kick. Now it's in field to Waghorn, edge of the area, left foot strike, take to deflection. Oh, that's just wide of the post. I think that skimmed the defender on the way through. It'll go behind. I think for a corner, I'm not too sure though. We'll double check that one, but a quick free kick taken by them. Cardiff were just completely caught flat-footed. Waghorn with a strike. It may have just gone straight out of play. We'll see this one from a better angle now.
Yeah, it's gone straight out.
Straight behind. I thought it just skimmed the knee of the defender there.
I thought when he was in real time like you, I thought it took a nick, but it's the way he gave the game away because he turned around, didn't he, to go away from goal for a set piece, which of course he wouldn't be doing. So his movement told us he'd missed, but he wanted it a bit more freely in front of him. He had to stop and then pick his spot, and as he's done that, the ball's trickled along, across him. It's allowed him to drag the shot. It's not perfect, which of course sometimes it's not. You've got to readjust your feet. Look at what Marriott did, hitting the crossbar at the start of the second half. So it's a warning sign again though for Cardiff that they're second best and must improve.
Yep, I have to agree with that. I'd probably say now they will probably make the first change with how things are going in the second half. Like you said, Warnock won't want to soak up all this pressure without doing anything themselves, trying to come forward as Bakuna has possession back towards Morrison. Just dribbles that one out of his centre-back position, and if he'd been challenged there, it would have been a clean run through on goal. The Derby man in Lawrence is, again, they just work it around the halfway line. Cardiff, it's with Joe Rawls. Ball fed down the line by Peltier, but he can't find a teammate there, and Patterson. It's back towards Calarus, who takes a touch, and then a little stumble by him. He just gets the ball towards Clark. That wasn't the most convincing from the shot stopper. As the ball up towards the halfway line, finds its way towards Duane Holmes, but his long ball forward there is sliced out of play. There will be a throw to Cardiff. We are going to see a double change actually now, and I think it is those two men, Nathaniel Mendez-Liang and Junior Hoylett, that will be coming on.
Well, they're the most obvious too. That's what you want to see. It's a great sign for the game as a whole that they're going for it. The players they're bringing off, Murphy's done nothing, which is often his case. He's either a match winner or total passenger in a game. No consistency. It's why he's not really made it at the top level.
It's like his brother as well, to be fair. Jacob, he's on loan somewhere in the Championship.
Bags of talent. They've both got bags and bags of talent. They're just not as consistent as they should be. Get Hoylett's number.
Hoylett, 33.
And White's gone off on the far side, I think.
Yeah.
Mendez-Liang.
Well, that's what we predicted, what we thought would happen there. So
I mean, I think it's a little harsh on White. The problem is for Cardiff, there's not been much improvement out of White, Murphy or Patterson.
Especially in the second half.
Well, they're all very similar performance. You could have brought any of them off.
Yeah, especially in the second half. They're just not doing a great deal, are they? 15 minutes of being on the back foot. So, yeah, I think that's probably right. I said White was a candidate to come off before the subs were made, and yeah, not really surprised to see that happen as Hoylett puts a dangerous-looking delivery in, only just away from the head of Joe Rawls, over his head and into the arms of the grateful Keller Roos. But already, Junior Hoylett has had an impact there. He had the overlapping run from Bennett. No help really from the Derby teammates to block that one. And Rawls is not far away from just skimming a header, and Neil Warnock knows as well.
Yeah, he does. Head in his hands from Warnock as Derby bring it out from the back. Frustration really for Cardiff. It's the half chances they're going to get. And as here comes Clark from the back, they're just looking shaky all round, aren't they? Just not acceptable enough on some of their players. They've got to just take it up a notch. They're allowing Derby too much space. We see here Holmes, he needs to get into the game a bit more. It's a good job for Cardiff. He's actually a little bit quiet in the second half, because he was, if he can get the free space, he's one to watch. Yeah,
Bakuna now is charging forward though for Cardiff, and Mendes Liang can't keep a hold of that ball there, and he's gesturing. Well, I think he was gesturing to Bakuna to go inside, and then he could have turned the ball around the corner down the line for Mendes Liang to run onto it. But yeah, Bakuna, he's powerful in that centre midfield role, but to be quite honest, I've seen Leandro Bakuna play right wing, right back, centre mid, left wing. He seems to be all over the place, and no real designated position for him at the moment as Derby play the ball across the back. That's a mistake though from Keogh, and Bakuna steps in and wins that one, and he's charging forward now. It's 2-on-2 at the moment for Cardiff inside the penalty area. Bakuna with a shot there is half saved by Keller Roos. Keogh now will pick up the scraps, and he should clear this ball away. He does. Ooh, I tell you what, the skipper looks like he has a mistake in him quite a lot.
Yeah, he's been at this level for a long time. Derby are putting their faith in him. You do wonder whether when is the year going to be that he does drop off that level. But he's looked very, very shaky tonight. I don't think it helps that last year we had Tomori alongside him, who was very assured. Clark doesn't look to be too confident either.
No, as Derby coming forward down the left though. Malone, low ball towards the near post. That one is cleared away by the big boot there of Sean Morrison, I think it was there. Malone looking up for Keogh. Cameras panned to him after that mistake. I was going to have a chat about Keogh, saying, I just wonder, like you, when is the day, when's the season when Keogh either just drops out of the starting lineup, still part of the squad, and they decide to sort of rebuild that centre-back department. As Derby don't make the most of the throws, they give it away. Bakuna just volleys it downfield there, looking for Glatzel, who's going to give chase in this one. He's going to have a little 50-50 in the air with Keogh. This time does well to keep a hold of it, but Patterson wins it back now for Cardiff towards the halfway line. He's then dispossessed though as Holmes picks up possession and feeds it out to this right hand side, and Waghorn is going up against Bennett at the moment there. Waghorn, a couple of little step overs, still coming forward now into the penalty area. Right footed shot, cross comes in, deflected off Flint, behind for a goal, corner kick, excuse me.
Yeah, it's a good sweeping move, that really good. Waghorn picked it up. This is where he's good. Trying on the right, going on to his left foot. He's a bit more left-footed than he's right, but he goes for it and he wins his side of corner.
Yeah, Waghorn will take this one short towards the right corner of the box, and it's back to Waghorn from Lawrence. He delivers a high ball towards the far post. It's nodded back in there, maybe a chance. I think it's already gone out of play though. It couldn't be kept in by Matthew Clark, and again just a little bit of a waste from Derby, but maybe that's the fact that they're struggling. They know they don't have that height advantage, so they've got to try something different from these corners.
Yeah, got to try and do something different, but then sometimes maybe is it better to just go play it safe to what you know will work. And yeah, they're trying things. You see Jordan Buggs in the stands. Is that Mason Bennett to the side of him?
Yes, could
be.
be.
A long time. That Derby defence looks shaky. The same cat was head of Cardiff's. It's Cardiff's midfield that's collapsing around them to allow some of Derby's progress. The actual defensive work hasn't been that bad.
It's a bit of a lack of creativity, isn't there? When you look at Mendes Liang and Hoylett, I know that's good on the wings, bit of pace. Glatzel up front, target man. But Patterson, Rawls and Bakuna, they're not really. No one's taken up that inspirational role just to try and put the through balls in, the little chip balls, be a bit creative in the middle of the park. No one's really doing that, so it's sort of breaking down, like you said, when it gets towards the midfield. Struggling to create any chances, been a little bit easy for Keller-Roos in this second half, although there was the mistake from Richard Keogh that did let Bacuna in, and it was a sort of a half save in the end from the Derby goalkeeper as Clark just clears this one out of play. So Cardiff will have themselves a throw. I'll be amazed if another long throw doesn't come in here for Callum Paterson, and it's going to be Sean Morrison actually that will take this one. Well, this is strange. Callum Paterson took all the long throws in the first half, was good with them. Sean Morrison, one of the tallest players they've got, now comes out to take the throw. Strange for me, but Morrison will take this. If it goes in, I'll be proven wrong, but I think that's a very strange decision to make, as Morrison does launch it in there, then it's flicked on, and it's nearly a chance as Keogh just sort of thighs this one up into the air with his right thigh, and the ball is eventually cleared away. Bacuna can only head it out, and Derby have themselves a throw in there, but almost an opportunity as Cardiff try and press, but now there's maybe a chance for Derby as Tom Lawrence spinning away from Bacuna. Nothing given by the referee. Looked like he could have been held there than number 10, but the ref was happy to let that one go. It's a little bit frantic at the moment. Keogh will just mop up things, and he goes back towards the goalkeeper Keller-Roos. Still Derby 1 at Cardiff 1 then, but there's been a couple of changes made by the Bluebirds. They're trying to freshen things up. Junior Hoylett has come on for Josh Murphy. Nathaniel Mendes-Liang for Gavin White there, so 2 fresh wingers onto the field of play for them. As for Derby, no changes yet, but they did have another half chance, and it's Waghorn again. A powerful shot from him, went just wide off the right post there, and the keeper was struggling, but it was off target. Cardiff, they have looked most dangerous from set pieces, and it's long throws, to be fair. This time Sean Morrison takes the long throw, launches it into the box, flicked on at the near post, and there is Richard Keogh, who with his right sort of thigh managed to get this ball away. Still Derby 1, Cardiff City 1.
Certainly is. And hopefully this game's going to spark into life a little bit now with the Cardiff subs settling into the game. I'd like to think something could perhaps change as we see ball out on the far side loop forward. Good shout from Bruce. Tells Keogh to get well out of the way, and Keogh does just that. As we see ball back with Keogh. He's asking for help every time. All he wants, I think that's why Glasgow's got such a big role tonight, because neither centre back want the ball. No,
they're both. Well, they both should be old-fashioned. When Richard Keogh, when tries to play football, that's when he looks even worse than he is. And it's no disrespect to him. When he's just there to be old-fashioned, get the ball away, get your head to it, get your foot to it, fine. When he's asked to run the ball out or play the ball out, that's when mistakes happen. It was like when Petr Cech was asked to be a ball-playing goalkeeper for Arsenal. That's not his game.
Clark's messed up here. He's got the forward, but then left a huge gap.
It is a massive gap he's left. He's trying to charge back, but that's good work down the right by Mendes-Liang. Little ball into the penalty area for Glatzel. Tries to pull it back towards the edge of the area. Ooh, there's half a shout for penalty corner. I don't think they're going to get any. They're going to get a corner.
Well,
I think.
I don't think they are. I think he just kicked that straight up.
Just the way Glatzel looked like he was moving, looked like he was going in the penalty area. We'll see it again. It's a lovely play by Mendes-Liang down the right side. Yeah, that just looks like he kicks it out, to be fair. Yeah, and it's a goal kick. So, picture's not the greatest for us there. But anyway, we've gone past the midway point of the second half. 69 minutes nearly on the clock. Derby 1, Cardiff 1. Tom will take you through to full time, maybe getting it a winner.
Let's hope so, James. That's not a free kick, well refereed. Mendes-Liang charging into Bielik off the ball and winning it, and we'll come with Hoylett on the left. It's out towards the far touchline. Pat's going to get a chance to knock it back inside as he is. It's out to Walls. Walls takes a touch or two, goes sideways, fizzes the pass out to Hoylett. It's good work, and now Hoylett's running it low. Can he get him to make a mistake across the face of goal? What a bit of defending that is from Clark. And Clark's claiming it's a goal kick. And do you know what? The way that they're reacting here, I think the miss actually might be. Clark puts off the centre forward, Glatzel, ball in. Clark gets, and I think he does just steer it the wrong way, but the defender gets skin tight to him to force the error. Great work from Clark.
Yeah, good work. He got to question Robert Glatzel there, though. Why on earth is he going with his right foot? Yeah. He's basically level with the near post. Go with your left foot. Just try and hook it back. Any little touch with your left foot. And the fact is, you've got the defender right on your arm, right on your back. going with your left foot means you're going to get a touch to it first, no matter what happens. But going with your right, it's giving Clark a chance to dive in there, and he's done enough.
Yep. Could have needed his left, off his left hip. Just decided to go with the opposite side of the body. Where's the ball always going to go when you go that side? As we see the ball played forward from Keogh. He apologises to his teammates, I think. Marriott's barely touched it since hitting the crossbar. Holmes has had the odd pass. It might be time for Derby to get a change in the middle of the park to help them out as Huddleston heads it back into Root's hands. Plenty of empty seats at Derby.
Yeah.
It's a big stadium, but they've not started that well.
No, I'll check what the attendance is, but yeah, it is a big stadium. Friday night, don't know. Friday night would be a good night to go to a game actually.
You've got your weekend, haven't you?
Go out afterwards.
Stop being about influence, James. Here's Bennett, runs it into touch, just trying to intercept. Not been announced yet, the attendance, still early days. 20 minutes to go. Keep an eye on that. Ball in midfield, well won back by Rolls. Up to Keogh. There it is with Bielik. Bielik spins away, runs into trouble. Trying to fight as Rolls flies in. Rolls is, well, he thought he was being pulled to the floor. It should be on ball, really, as he was trying to intercept it. There is Marriott trying to put pressure on Flint. Flint's trying to plead that his team should have had a foul. Bielik's still down after that incident, and they look like there could have been a couple of fouls in that little bit of play.
I think the referee's pretty much right, though, not to give any. You know, Hoylett dived in a little bit late to start with. Bielik, I think, does a good challenge. Sort of lands on his shoulder a little bit heavily. I think it's poor defending from Aidan Flynn. He's allowed the ball to bounce, and when you've got someone like Jack Marriott, who is, he's just like a terrier, isn't he? He just doesn't stop running at you, and he's always going to put pressure on and force you into a mistake like Flint for me did there.
The technical team, smartly dressed tonight. Not happy with what he's seeing. A beard that way. Very strong. Bielik's still down. It's often said, isn't it, some managers can't automatically transition to an amazing coach. Koku's obviously got something about him because everyone keeps hiring him.
Well, I mean, he's won 3 Eredivisie titles, so...
Great player as well.
Yeah, good player. I mean...
It's a bit of time to adapt to the English game, maybe?
It's difficult. I mean, it's no disrespect to the Eredivisie, but I think it's a lot easier to win a title in that league than it is to get a side like a Derby outside of the Championship, to get them promoted from the Championship, to be fair. I mean, Steve McLaren won a title in Eredivisie with the FC Twente, didn't he?
Yeah.
Says quite a lot.
What would tell James?
That's easier to win a title in Holland's top league.
James is Steve McLaren's number one hated fan.
Fact is, Holland's dominated by 3 teams as well, isn't it, really?
Which does make it more remarkable that he did win it that year.
He's part of a good side, though. Come on, wasn't he? It was a good side.
Oh, so they're now a good side rather than a top 3. Okay, the hatred runs true as Waghorn swings the ball in, fired back out from Cardiff, straight back for another corner.
Good side for Holland. You're in charge of PSV and Ajax or Feyenoord. You're going to win a title at some point.
As here we see Waghorn go to the byline onto his right foot, digs the cross out, headed away by Patterson, flicked back in, hooked clear by Hoylett. Only as far as Malone on the halfway line, and he just scoops the ball up, but he's sold it short. He's given it to Hoylett. Huddleston's never going to race back in time, so Hoylett's running through on goal. Can he strike? Huddleston gets to him and wins the ball. Great work from Tom Huddleston. He was never going to get there at first to try and beat him to it, but in terms of his determination, Hoylett slowed down. Of course, he's got the ball at his feet as there is Waghorn. Marriott stayed on side. Marriott onto his left foot, lays it off to Lawrence, back to Marriott. Marriott, can it lay it off to Holmes, dinks it in, far post, headed behind by Morris, and it's going to go for a corner. Great counter-attacking play from both teams. 75 minutes or thereabouts gone on the clock, and it's still 1 apiece.
Yeah, I'm surprised Huddleston got all the way back there.
Great work.
I thought he was just going to commit a foul, but he just waits and waits and waits. Bing just toe pokes the ball away from Junior Hoylett, who looks to look very silly when he has a massive air shot at this, and actually injures himself by landing a little bit heavily on his right ankle there. So yeah, that was adding salt to the wound. Just going back to the Eredivisie point. Well, I say, if you're in charge of one of the top 3 teams in Holland, you're probably going to win the title. Which is right, because since obviously the Eredivisie began 1956, there's only been, I think, 3 other teams other than Ajax, Feyenoord and PSV that have won the title in that span.
Well, if that's what is that your...
That's my thing. He did well to win titles in there, but it's a lot easier to win a title in Holland than it is to go and get a team from the Championship promoted.
I agree all the way, by the way. I'm just trying to...
Arguably, the Championship is the hardest league to get out of, and it's arguably one of the easiest to slip into bad ways and get relegated.
Very true. Very, very true. And the ball is out on that far side. Holmes takes the corner shot with Waghorn. He's going to walk his way towards the edge of the box. It's Lawrence. He swings the ball in. It's headed clear. Only as far as Huddleston. It's out to the right for Holmes. Holmes takes a touch. Floats across in. It's going to go underneath the head of Flint, and he gets underneath it just in time. Bakuna heads it only as far as Clark. I mean, what's he thinking there? Clark picks up the pieces. Here is Holmes. Holmes drills it in low and hard. Morrison has to deal with it and does. And is Liang challenging with Holmes, wins the second one. Does he bring Holmes to the floor? Holmes goes down with a head injury. Nothing given. Derby are adamant that should have been a free kick. I don't understand how that's not being given.
Yeah, collision coming together. It is surprising though when a player goes down with a head injury, the referee usually stops playing. He has eventually now.
He's just had a 6-foot plus man, 13 stone at least, land on top of his head.
Yeah, I mean, he's still struggling a little bit as Holmes, the referee, is just holding play a little bit more. We'll see again. We'll see here because it wasn't fully short to start with.
He jumps all over the back of his head.
There's a little forearm on the side of the neck, isn't there? But no, he didn't hit the back of it. To be fair, he is holding the left side of his neck. No, not to stay down that long for me though. Come on, it's a physical game. Shouldn't keep you down for that long. It's a forearm on the side of the neck. Yes.
I'm going to do it too when this comment's finished. See what happens.
It hurts.
If you lie down on the office floor, I'm not coming back for it.
It hurts, but in terms of you don't stay down for as long as you stay down.
Richard Keogh's now moaning with the referee about giving him the ball back. Referee said give him the ball. Richard Keogh's refused to for about 10 goals. Now he's still moaning. The referee said all along, I'm going to give you it anyway, so just stop moaning. So Richard Keogh decided to keep moaning. Unbelievable, really. Ball out back with Keogh. The ball is played forward. And it's back to Clark. Under pressure is Lawrence. Clark again. Lowe's charging forward. He's done really well at times today, Lowe. A bit quiet second half. It's into Lawrence. Has to use Lowe again, which he will. Lowe's going to put his foot through it. Of course, again. Of course, a few players tonight said they've done really well, then they give it away. Clark jumps up. Oh, it's not a free kick, surely. Clark still doesn't think so. Can't repeat what he says because they'll be out of a job tomorrow. I thought it was a fair challenge, but Clark wins it. They're under pressure as well there, Derby. There was a 2-on-2.
I think he said, surely not, referee. How could you come to that conclusion of that foul?
In a really shorter version that's a lot more aggressive.
Yeah, sort of around those lines. But yeah, I guess just a bit of a coming together challenge in the air, isn't it?
Lowe's gone with the first time cross after a Holmes pass. He didn't need to. I thought he could have brought that down. That's the problem. That's where his only weakness now has been a left back playing at right back to come to the fore because he's well on side of the ball. Look what Morrison's doing.
He's seen Waghorn, hasn't he? He's just tried to play it early to Waghorn at the far post, which, if he gets it right, it's perfect, isn't it? It'd be right on the plate for Waghorn. It's Holmes goes down now. He's feeling a little bit of cramp or something, it seems. I'm still surprised Derby not made a change yet.
Well, he's had a slower start for his, hasn't he, Holmes? I think he's saying he's going to come off it. He's calf. He's limping along. But if they're going to make a sub, you'd feel it'd be him. Shay Given.
Legend.
Technical staff at Derby. Top man is shit.
He was stuffed, and he's a great goalkeeper. City, of course, Newcastle.
Got to win a couple of medals at the end.
One of the Republic of Ireland's
Florian Hosifun.
all-time cap players.
No bad words said about him.
Correct.
In this studio. Hosifun is on then, but Marriott needs a bit more service if they can help him. Smith is going to take this goal kick, which he does. It's out to the right, headed forward. Nodded away from danger by Flint, flicked on, accepted by Malone. Wagon's dropped deep into the middle, ball forward. Hosifun might have gone straight down the middle here. Got Marriott for company. Will he go use him? Malone's charging into the box across the face of goal. There's Lawrence all over the bar. I think he's covering it, took a touch. He's adamant. I always thought it was just going to be a goal kick. He's just been a bit desperate here. Well, the one man you don't want in the box there is Tom Lawrence. He's not a box finisher, he's more of a long range specialist. Hosifun causing problems. Ball in from Marriott, and it's just spooned over the bar.
Yeah, just can't get it. He goes with the outside of his right, sort of, but I think the Cardiff defender actually, he flicks it onto the outside of Lawrence's boot, and obviously no control of that. It goes over the bar, but that's, you know, that's a bit better from Derby. I have to say, before that, and the build-up to that, there's two aerial challenges. Waghorn stood on the halfway line about 5 yards from the referee. Any little nudge, any type of little contact between two players he's watching, and his arms outstretched saying, "Referee, where's the free kick?" I mean, it's a physical game. I banged on about this, but it's a physical game. You can nudge somebody. It doesn't have to be a foul.
So it doesn't. The ball is down the line. Picked up by Keogh. Keogh's going to control it. Now he scoops the ball up. Headed away by Flint. Huddleston heads it down. There, in possession is Bennett. Bakuna flicked over the top. Keogh clears it the wrong way. Puts Malone under loads of pressure. Bakuna headed forward again. It's now out to the left. Here comes Hoylett. Hoylett's going to drive towards the edge of the box. Fires it across the face of goal. Patterson heads it back in. There is Glatzel off the line by Clark. Really good chance. Good defending from Clark. I think he's improved. The half's gone on, James, and he's made a huge interception.
Yeah, that's a massive interception. Calaruce tries to get there ahead of Glatzel. He can't. He just nods it over him, and it looks like it's going to go in. There's a couple of players back on the line. You've got Malone, you've got Clark. There's, you know, suggestions that Malone may have got his foot to it as well, but Clark's the one. I think this is the more dangerous one, Clark, because he's going back towards his own goal, flicks his foot out and puts it behind.
He does. Looks tired as well up there. As we see the corner come in from Rawls to the far post. Keeper comes out, gets nowhere near it. Headed back in, that's a potential high boot. Lawrence, here's Mendez-Lang, tries to go to the bar and he's put too much on it. Well, Bennett was the man that went down. James again doing his famous dive impression.
Well, that wasn't a dive, that was just a no penalty.
Well, Bennett got up and didn't appeal that penalty. Chris Martin.
I think he's waiting for contact, Bennett.
Man.
Waiting for contact, Bennett is, and he sort of motioned that falling over that he's going to get kicked in the side, and he doesn't feel the contact.
Yeah, Chris Martin in the match he scored at Derby for the first time since January 2018. 18 months pretty much. As here they come. Hosifun falls over. Peltier, it's a free kick given to Derby. Well, Peltier's on a card. Good area.
I'll tell you what.
Oh,
if he's not on a yellow card, I think that's a yellow card.
Oh yeah, he's pulled him back.
If that is, and he's on the edge of the D.
Should be a yellow card, that.
Yeah, I'm saying if he's not on a yellow card, the ref gives him a yellow card all day long there.
Hosifun has obviously been sent onto the pitch to fire his team up because he's gone up to Bielik and slapped him on the chest and said, "Come on, let's go, let's have a bit more from you." Bielik's just a walking wounded, by the way. He's been holding his arms and his legs for about an hour. Ball out. Chris Martin, who was warming up 10 seconds ago with his tracksuit on, has now been stripped off. He's ready to come on. Whether they bring it, I'd take off Marriott or Lawrence. Keep Waghorn on. I think Waghorn's been dangerous. But Tom Lawrence is a bit of a set-piece specialist. Martin Waghorn scored a free kick or two in his time. Both from the lining this up. Without Harry Wilson, Lawrence will favour his chances this year. Now, can he score from range? It has to be good. Like on dummies, it's going to be Lawrence. Lawrence goes for the top corner, it's over. And it's a poor set piece routine, very poor indeed. One to forget about.
Into the latter stages then of this one. Still Derby 1, Cardiff 1. We're searching for that elusive third goal. That would be a winner for either of these two sides. And it nearly came Cardiff's way a few moments ago. It was a ball played high towards the far side of the penalty area from the left-hand channel. It's nodded back towards the penalty spot area by Patterson. It's then got to first by Robert Glatzel, Cardiff's penalty scorer in the first half. He then sort of nods it over Kelleroos. It's cleared off the line by Matthew Clark and the danger is gone. Derby have made a couple changes as well. Afrain Josefsoon's on for Duane Holmes. Jack Marriott's gone off as well, and on this come Chris Martin. Still Derby 1, Cardiff 1.
Yeah, frustration all round for Marriott in the second half. Hit the crossbar and he's had very little service to do much with. As Huddleston picks up the pieces in midfield, runs into trouble. Should be a Derby throwing that, and it is. Malone's going to take it, just take some time off the clock. Martin up top then. Looks like he's slimmed down a little bit. Thought his Derby career was over. He's been on loan a couple of times, hasn't he? Was he following somewhere? He was asking to go back and he really didn't enjoy the loan spell and they wouldn't do it as KO's under pressure as he goes to Clark. There is Josefsoon. He's made a big difference since coming on. Extra bit of pace. Out to Malone. Malone out towards the left. Here is Bielik. Towards Keogh. It's now back to Clark, to Keogh again. Keogh's going to drive forward. He's going to get caught on the ball. He is. Rolls. Chance for Cardiff here. Lawrence gets him out of trouble. Hits Keogh again. Good work from Tom Lawrence. Rise a challenge of a couple of players. Then he flies into Morrison. Could well be a card this actually. And he is going to get yellow carded. He looks in bewilderment. Morrison goes down holding the top of the foot. But Lawrence gets the yellow card.
Yeah, he doesn't stop with his follow through there, does Lawrence. Unfortunately, gets the ball first, and he does catch Morrison on the inside of his foot as well. So
yellow card. He puts his foot up.
Yeah, it's not great at all.
I'm surprised he doesn't need treatment for longer. He has gone back down here, Morrison. That's a really bad challenge, actually.
It's naughty for him to raise the studs.
If he doesn't put his foot up in the air, Morrison, he's potentially looking at a leg break because he's got 5 cards already, Tom Lawrence. 5 cards.
Seems like for me that there will be little petulant fouls those as well.
Suspended for the game against Leeds.
Leeds will need that.
That's interesting. Third place Leeds. Almost got promoted last year. Last change. Big man for Cardiff. Change up top. Glatzel coming off. Done okay.
Put a shift in, hasn't he? Got his goal.
Is it? Well, he's not had much chance. He's not had many chances.
No, I mean he's had the penalty and he had the header where he looked over the keeper and was cleared off the line. So he's done alright. He's put himself about.
Yeah, it's not one of those games where he's going to have a load of machines. But Omar Bogle goes on. 27. Number.
Yeah, he's not really hit it off at Cardiff, has he? Unfortunately, he's had a bit of a strange time with Omar Bogle. Of course, he scored a hatful of goals, didn't he? Omar Bogle then made the move to Cardiff. He's been there a little bit of time, hasn't he? 2017, because he arrived. I think he arrived in January. Arrived having scored a hatful for Grimsby Town, and then maybe the step up has been a little bit too much for him.
Could well be. Another chance this season. You see the ball looped forward into the air. Bielik underneath it. Hit Patterson's hand. Patterson pulls Bielik to the floor. No wonder he's aching, Bielik. He's been chucked around all day. As the ball out towards Josefsoon, he turns inside, goes for the key pass to Martin. It goes all the way behind everybody and out towards the far right. Pretty poor, in all fairness. Chris Martin's got a chance to get to that. Don't think they need to be as keen, do they?
Yeah, it just hasn't been a fantastic second half, I have to say. I mean, first half I thought was good. It was littered. I think the whole game's been littered with mistakes. Two sides that haven't really got their seasons going yet. Well, this will be 7 points from 7 games for Derby. It'll be 9 points from 7 games for Cardiff. So 2 teams that are meant to be battling. Some may have tipped them for automatic, even playoffs, and then a bit far away from that at the moment, although it's still quite close, you know, early on in the season. A bit of a run and you'll be back up, but both sides just don't seem to be getting that fluidity in their game. And watching both of them, I'd probably be more optimistic if I was a Cardiff fan watching this. Somehow the referee's found 6 minutes at a time from somewhere as well, which we're just into now.
I think they've gone down the rows of seats and just picked a number off them and gone, oh, it said 6, because I'd have said 4 at best.
Yeah, I mean,
they've had a couple of head knocks.
Yeah,
subs,
not really 6 minutes though, really, is it? Let's be honest.
Here comes Martin. His first touch is very heavy into Rolls. I think Rolls will be man of the match, to be honest.
Bold call.
Everything he's done's been pretty solid.
Unforgettable though, I think, from Rolls tonight for me.
You want to throw in there as well. Warnock's seething. Derby come down the right. It's gone to Derby.
I think state of the game is I'm struggling to find a standout player for any side.
Can't be a defender though, because there's not been a standout defender.
No, I mean,
neither goal scorer.
Malone's played all right. In terms of defending, he's not had much to do, but he's done all right going forward the other end. He's put some decent balls in. But yeah, a defender, and the main job is to defend. I just can't think of anyone that has really stood out to me, for quite honest there. And I think if I was marking everyone in this game, 6 and 5s across the board for me.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that, I'll be honest. As we see the ball with Bakuna. Played forward. That's a foul on Rolls. They've tried to bring him down intentionally, so Rolls, his next touch is heavy. He flies into Huddleston. Those two have been at each other all night. I still think Rolls is the lead candidate.
We haven't had the TV providers man of the match, have we, to see what they've gone for. But just as you said, Rolls have done well. He overran the ball there. Again, curse from you tonight for saying someone's playing well.
That is a fact. Every time I've said someone's done something okay or played well, they've then got injured.
Why don't you say that, I don't know, Alex Smithies or Keller Roos has played well, and then a howler will come and we'll get a goal.
Keller Roos has played really well. Christian Bielik has got man of the match. Get out of town. Get out of town.
That's how TV providers have said Bielik. I mean, again, it's the fact I can't think of anyone.
But here's Rolls, my man of the match, good potential match winner. Ball comes in. Nothing's happened in the last minute and a half, by the way. There's Bogle, trying to cause a nuisance. Toilet strikes! Oh, just past the near post. Scrapping away at it, picking up the pieces and going for the glory. And it just takes a little skip off the surface. Mendes' line maybe put him off, James. Bogle was complaining he wasn't played in as Rolls. Just as I say he's played well, gives the ball to Lowe. Something again, James.
Lowe's played all right.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
Lowe's, I mean, he had that lovely through ball to Martin Waghorn. Probably should have scored from it, Waghorn. Playing out of position. He coped well, I think, with Josh Murphy actually after the first 10 minutes. Murphy's obviously off now. That's always a good battle, isn't it, for a full-back? When your opposing player you get subbed, you think, yep, I've done my job on him. So maybe Lowe for me. Yep.
Cocker looks down the line, he's frustrated.
Didn't find out the attendance, did we?
No, it was your job, didn't do it.
25,837, 1,441 of Cardiff fans. Tell you what, cracking following that from the Cardiff fans. Just under 1,500.
Yep.
But it is empty-ish at Pride Park, isn't it? Maybe not the ferocious support they wanted. Just trying to see how much it holds. 33,597 Pride Park holds. It's not horrendous.
No, it's not. As Huddleston goes out, plays a shocking pass looking for Waghorn. Don't really know where they're going with that, to be honest. Scoops it up, Wagon wasn't even looking. Now the ball fired forward. Bogle brings it under control. Scoops up in the air. Bogle brings it back under control. Loops it inside for Patterson. Mendes-Liang calls rank. Bogle wants it back. I should have played him. Just a couple of times Bogle's got some really good areas and they just totally ignored him. As there's the ball played forward. It's going to be hooked down the left-hand side. It's out towards Hoylett. Hoylett's going to try and dribble his way forward, is he? It's cushioned, looped up to the far post. Bogle's lurking. Bielik heads clear. Here is Chris Martin. Puts the ball over the top looking for Hosey Foon. He's going to have a foot race. He's not going to get there. Morrison's going to be too cool under pressure, too quick. Gets it away. And it's now in the hands of Malone, who still one apiece, so Derby have to go for this. Into the midfield. Well, Martin wanted to run and back on, stood still. 15 seconds of the stoppage time to go. Bielik dropping back. Clark was the man that went across with the header. Bielik dropping in to try and help those with Bogle. Bogle's made a big difference in the 3 or 4 minutes. 1-2 with Martin and Keogh. Martin then falls over his man. There's Wagon. He's getting blocked off. Is he by Flint? Nothing in it according to the officials. He's not happy. Another is. He's give it. Yellow card. Free kick on the edge of the box, I think.
To be fair, I thought Flint held out the leg. I think he hangs the leg out there.
Oh, he's dived.
Oh, he has dived. He's expecting the leg to come at him. He's flicked it out, but it's nowhere near it. Tell you what, he's bought one there. Imagine if this goes in.
Well, Flint looks down in disgust. He's frustrated. Wagon. Chris Martin said he wants this. Wagon's throwing in the ball. Tom Huddleston's trying to put off Smithies by just standing in front of him. Chris Martin behind the ball, ready to go. Derby's fans poised. This will be the last action of the game. What a way to make your first appearance for Derby since January 2018. What a way to impact the game. Or is it going to sky its way over the bar? Wait to see what comes of it then. The referee's ready with his wall, he's happy with it. There's 2 players in the way. Will he go round the side? That's what James is thinking. Or will he go straight to where Huddleston and Lawrence is, and they'll move out of the way? He'll go straight at the wall. It's cleared, but the referee blows for the full-time whistle as the ball's in the air, and we have to settle for a draw in the first game back of the domestic season after the international break. It's Derby 1, Cardiff 1, and thank you for joining us.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of